Hello, welcome to episode 309 of the UK Steelers podcast. You're joined by me, Simon Winstanley, and my friends here, Gavin Marshall, Mark Hansen, and Ketz. Gentlemen, the trio of dreams. How are you doing?
I'm all right, but really, I'm worried about Mark. Are you okay, Mark?
I'm all right. I like the nickname Trio of Dreams, by the way. That's exceptional. But why are you worried about me?
Why do you think? Because your boy has gone down with a hand injury and you won't get to see him in the preseason and you've been so excited about
hell.
You have to bring that early. Oh, my God.
Couldn't even get through 5 seconds of the show.
No, without stabbing me in the chest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm worried about you. I saw the news and my mind immediately went to you.
Oh, thank you. The Howard
What is
clan
the news? Can we outlay the news for the listener?
Well,
please?
I mean, there has been some positive spin on this. So, Will Howard effectively, it seems, has a broken finger. He's got a brace on today. He had initially been ruled out for about 3 weeks or so, which would mean he'd missed the entire preseason. But today, Mike Tomlin has hinted that he might get some action in the last preseason game. So maybe it's not as severe as they first thought, but it's obviously a massive bummer for a dude that I think we're all, myself and Cy in particular, are really excited to see this
Hey,
preseason.
I was on the Howard train as well. You seem to forget that.
Yeah, you were. But I think me and Cy may have been a bit more vocal about it while you're in your Shador corner.
I'm not sure.
You were in your
it got drowned out by Shador. I was saying
yeah.
he was like a solid start, solid sleeper in the draft, and I was pleased when they got him. So don't count me out. Do we know it's on his throwing hand? Is it?
Yeah, right hand.
Yes, yeah.
Right hand. Do we know what finger?
Not sure.
I think it was the pinky, if I remember correctly.
Pinky, who cares? Because surely you can come back from that one.
Can we quickly
It's
check
not
with
like
Dave?
it's the main two, isn't it, that spin it?
How did he break his finger, Dave?
Well, they put their finger up my ass.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Close enough. I mean, it was a center exchange that did it. So, yeah, maybe that's what happened. He fractured a small bone in his hand. There you go.
This is the frustration. Let's just talk about this now, I guess. Very frustrating, right? I mean, this is the guy you wanted to see. Let's be honest. Maybe there's a couple of the guys like Jack Sawyer, Caleb, but I think Will Howard was maybe the guy we were the most excited to see. Maybe not maybe that's unfair. We got, a first round pick and stuff, and this is a late round quarterback. But I think we were all excited just to see how he came out and slung it.
Is there a silver lining to this cloud in that, yes, it probably would be, everyone's tempted to put him in early and give him maximum reps, and it sounds like he had a good camp, but isn't the sensible play really to get Mason up to speed? And actually maybe it's more likely that Mason will have more impact on the season coming up than Will Howard would have, so perhaps maybe it's not such a bad thing, although it's disappointing.
Well,
I fuck that guy. Yeah.
It's just that you wanted, this was the chance for him to get reps. He was probably going to play quite a lot this preseason, right? Given what we're looking at, you don't really need to see a lot of Mason. We're not going to see almost any Aaron Rodgers, certainly not in the first game, according to Tomlin. So, you just thought that this was the guy you were really wheeling out there. And now we've signed, Logan Woodside to just be a
Woodside, baby,
to just be a guy that Arthur Smith has seen before and come in, and he's probably going to have to play some snaps immediately in the first couple of days against Jacksonville.
Let me put it like this. So let me put it like this: if it's a wild card game, Rodgers is out for 1 week, and you're going up against, I don't know, Texans, let's say. Who would you rather start in that situation? Will Howard or Mason Rudolph?
Right now,
obviously.
Rudolph. Yeah.
But I think this is the point. I mean, this got me thinking about when we had that conversation a few weeks ago, Mark, about, what is the realistic season like for Will Howard? And we said, he would have to have an amazing training camp, obviously, to unseat Mason Rudolph in any meaningful way early. But I did think there was a chance that as the season went on, who knows? We hadn't seen this guy. That was the whole point, right? So this was the opportunity. Did this guy flash? Did this guy look like he had something to his game? We aren't going to see it, I think, is my concern now until next offseason, by which point we'll be drafting a new quarterback.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, we were already in the mindset that we were most likely going to be going for a round 1 QB next year anyway.
Yeah.
Will Howard could have put some of that in doubt with a exceptional camp and preseason, but I think that's now just dampened to the point where, I think it's even more likely that that's the route that we're going to take next year.
Yeah, what do you do with this guy now, right? I mean, assume he doesn't get any snaps in the regular season, which, we're going to touch wood that he doesn't, because it would mean something's probably gone wrong at this point. But, the third quarterback has played a lot for us in recent seasons, so it's not out of the realm of possibility, in which case we will see a little bit of him. But if we don't, and we don't see any, it's Mason Rudolph at most this season, what do we do with Will Howard next offseason? I assume he just kind of slips into that backup role to replace Mason Rudolph maybe, but who knows? Who knows?
I mean, yeah.
Maybe
It's a good
he has a
problem to
chance to start, at that point we get against the rookie QB. Who knows?
Yeah, camp competition next year. It's a good problem.
I guess. I would have just liked to see him. I would have liked to see him and know how the team... I feel like the team isn't going to know, Sounds like he had a solid training camp. He got through about half of that. But you just
Didn't
don't
sound
know.
like there was many wow plays. People were impressed with him and how he ran things. But it didn't seem like he was setting things on fire.
No, certainly
I
not.
mean, let's calm down a little bit.
Yeah, well, I wasn't saying he was. I just think...
No, I just mean generally.
Yeah, it's hard to get a view on these things. That's why you need the game reps, even preseason games, because it gives them that opportunity to show things that you can't see in training camp. But regardless, we'll come back to the injuries because there's some more to discuss. I just want to shout out a couple of things in housekeeping before we get to our show producers. Firstly, Kebab Bowl. I'm being contacted by the Kebab, not by the Kebab Bowl. It's become sentient.
Oh, Kebab has spoken.
I've been contacted by a few people about the Kebab Bowl, asking about it. I'm going to get it sorted this week between this episode and the time that we put out the next episode. I'm going to have renewed the existing 2 leagues that we have. So for anyone unaware, the Kebab Bowl is our podcast's fantasy competition that we run through the season for the honor of winning the Kebab Bowl, which is in the Premium League, the league that started, was it, 3-4 years ago at this point? Maybe longer, I don't know.
I think a touch longer, but in this current format, it's been about 3 years,
yeah.
3 or 4 years.
And then we also have our feeder league, which we started up last season. Was it last season or the season before? Which is great. Which is people, vying to get promoted into the Kebab Bowl. And who knows? Maybe this season, if there's enough interest, we'll have a feeder to the feeder league. How deep can this hole go? How many feeder to the feeder leagues could we get to?
Gonna have a whole pyramid.
You could be the arbiter of that. Maybe once we get to 5, I'll start questioning whether I should be managing this in this way anymore. But we shall see. So I know there's a couple people out there. Swearwolf, for example, I've not forgotten you, and I know he wants him and his son involved, so I'm going to get in touch with him. And so there's a few people, but I want to see if we can get enough people to open up that third league. Otherwise, I'm going to need to do some finagling with numbers. So we shall see. But between now and next week,
Doc Martens league level, a little snack helmet level
Isthmian,
league.
yeah, whatever they are, yeah.
Kebab on Pitter league,
sizzling slice league.
How was your kebab last week, Gav? You enjoy it? After the show?
Yeah, it was great. Oh, I got an update on that quickly just before we get into football chat. I was talking about our discussions and with a mate at work, and he said, "You lot are idiots. You're talking about the same thing. A naan is what Northerners call a flatbread."
What?
And I was thinking, of course. When you say naan, you don't mean naan. You mean flatbread.
I mean,
which you don't have up north because you don't know the difference. Yeah, but a naan is a flatbread. A naan is a flatbread. So I agree with you. Flatbread is a type of wrap. So he said we've basically been saying the same thing, just in a different colloquialism. So we're on the same page, Si. A dana, a flatbread, a roti.
Is it just a flatbread?
Because when you say naan, when you say naan, I think a kind of thing with garlic and herbs sprinkled on it. That's not what you mean, is it?
I mean, it could have garlic on it, but probably not what you're
naan
picturing.
specifically to me is like a Peshwari thing you get in an Indian restaurant. You're talking about a flatbread. So I realise this is the come to Jesus moment.
I just googled naan and flatbread. I got to be honest, they do look like the exact same item. So I am.
Yeah, we've been on the same page this whole time. We've just
in fact, when you Google naan, underneath it says flatbread.
So
right,
I think a naan is a type of flatbread, but not all flatbreads are naan.
So all naans are flatbreads.
Correct.
Not all
but I think when Si says naan, he's talking about a flatbread, not what I would call a naan, which is a herb and spice thing with sugar in it.
But they're selling these in Indian restaurants up here. Asian restaurants.
Well, that's a northern thing. I don't know about that. Okay, but anyway, I thought that was interesting.
So we've potentially been on the same side this entire time.
This whole damn time.
So what was the pitter and the stick about? You're the one that's been saying that,
I've never said pitter. I think pitter is inferior to wraps. When I said wrap, I meant
you
flatbread.
meant naan.
I meant flatbread, which
A lot
maybe
of
is what the
wraps,
same
though,
thing
are
you're
those
saying.
flimsy little things that aren't fit for the purpose of what you need for a
No,
kebab.
that's a tortilla. That's different. I'm talking flatbread. I'm talking Adana. Do you know what Adana is? It's like a sort of flatbread. Huh?
My
Anyway,
my mind
it's
is
all good.
blown, and I don't know what to make of it.
No wonder we've been going in circles with this. It's a regional difference.
I feel like I
Okay.
need backup here, Mark. This is a Gav issue, right? This is. Am I going insane?
Don't drag
Have
me
I
into
not
this.
made my position clear on this from the beginning? Like what the correct bread is? I don't know what's going on here.
I just think it's man.
The lad comes
I
here
don't
with
know.
incorrectly
My
named
mind's
bread.
blown.
If only we
Literally.
had a resident food correspondent that could help us with these debates.
This is
But
this
it's
is the
Scotland.
problem
I
with
mean,
being in the
it's
Midlands.
probably called something else up there.
So it's a
It's
wee
just called a
something.
loaf of
up there,
bread.
isn't it?
So do we need regional food correspondents then?
Perhaps.
Christopher Anderson,
It's a
your
flat
job
cob.
is being auctioned here. Defend yourself.
Yeah, Chris,
Yeah.
get in touch.
The Midlands, it just becomes a mesh of south and north, so I can't really say. I'm literally on the fence.
Mark's swimming in naans. He calls them flatbreads and naans. He doesn't know what's going on. All right.
Don't know which way
Dear
to
God.
look.
Yeah,
But
don't
hey,
worry,
you
Kets.
know,
I was getting to that. Let's list the Patreons before we do anything else. Shout out to our wonderful show producers, including our resident food correspondent, Christopher Anderson, as well as Jason Bardler, Rob Ferguson, Dave Hart, Glenn Jones, Matt Audley, Steve Williams, Ian Ferrugia, Christian Robb, Thomas Fielding, Joe Pearson, Philip Williams, Laura Casey, Michael Coonan, Paul Fielden, the obscenely handsome Lee Matthews, and the Aussie Storm, Galileo West.
Thanks to those wonderful producers.
There we go. You happy,
Excellent.
Kets?
I'm very happy. Always happy.
Kets doesn't believe that I'm not going to forget. It was the same. What was the other thing he said today? He was like, "Oh, you better tweet out about the fantasy
Bowl.
league just in case." I'm like, "Yeah, I know,
good
Kets.
ask about
I would have done. Don't worry." Do you know, a lot
Eager.
of people around here, Mark, vying for parts of my job. Like they want, I'm very happy for them to just take it off my hands. A lot of people seem to have opinions today about how I'm doing things. What do you think?
I don't know why you directed that at me there. I was
Mark,
like, oh no.
because you're the only one I haven't attacked today. That's why I'm.
Not a great.
I'm the one who
delegator,
hosts
so
the
he-
show in your absence as well.
He's
So
a-
like,
He's a power hoarder and a power keeper.
Oh, I see how it is. So Mark wants the host, Gav wants to run the RSS feed, and Kets wants to control the Patreon list.
but we know that you do all three fabulously well. So.
No, it's okay. God, what a meltdown we're having today. Right. Speaking
Is
of the
it
Patreon,
Is Mercury in Saturn rising in Jupiter or something? What's going on
Mercury's in
there?
retrograde right now, and it's sending me for a loop.
I don't really know what any of that means, but something's going on, right? We're all a bit touchy.
Astrology fans, please write in and inform us. Is Saturn in the Trojan horse? We don't know.
Astrology fans get a new hobby anyway.
For those Patreon producers and those in the Patreon, those keeping tabs on the Patreon, please do. This season, we were just talking about before the show, we're going to workshop, we're going to do something this season before each game, hopefully. At least before a few of the games. And if not exactly what we spoke about, something similar, I'm going to try and make sure we get at least a little something up there for the Patreons each week before the games in the regular season this season. All right, I think that's everything that I had on my kind of housekeeping list. Should we dive into a few training camp?
Whispers.
Now, last
Whispers.
week I noticed, thanks, Kev, and we actually need that because last week in the edit I went in and I was like, who did the best whisper? I was really proud of him, Mark. Mark did a great whispers. And so I went in and I was going to really highlight it. It didn't pick it up. It was
No, I
such
didn't
a
think it
great
would.
whisper that the mic didn't even register.
The AI deleted it.
The AI deleted it, yeah. So God bless
Whereas
Mark.
my downtone one came through perfectly.
Yeah,
so,
your whispers.
who's-
Yeah, and Ketz's Cadbury whispers.
Chocolate advert.
Yeah, that worked fine. All right, training camp. A few bits of news just off the top before we get into some of the other injuries. We spoke about Will Howard already, but there's a laundry list of players we need to discuss. Before we do so, we signed Logan Woodside. Also, a couple other signings just to mention that have happened between last week and this week. We signed UDFA cornerback Porter Jr. Wait, doesn't he already play for the team?
Yeah, that's a weird one. So his surname is Junior, though, right?
And his dad played for the Steelers?
Junior. Senior. Junior,
Losing
senior.
our minds. So Darryl Porter Jr., not to be confused with Joey Porter Jr., whose dad also played for the Steelers, was signed UDFA. He had a cup of tea with the Bills at this training camp, and now he's been signed as a bit of depth because we've got some injuries in the secondary. So that's mainly I'm just highlighting that mainly because I think it'll be interesting for us to see Porter Jr. out there. I think he's wearing 39, by the way, Minka's old number.
Yeah, he's already drawing penalties, so he's very much like the other Porter Jr. So yeah, that's good. Also, you've
Is that
said
the skinny
junior
on him?
senior now, Gav, and all I've got is bloody the junior senior song in my head. You know which one I'm on about.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
also this is traditional of the Steelers. They often have players of the same names.
Yeah.
I'm thinking even back in Antonio Brown's day, you had Justin Brown. So this is normal.
It's almost becoming a bit. Is it just like an alphabetical thing? It's just easy for them just to.
I mean, they cheated with the
page?
Watts and the Haywoods for a bit, but now they've got back to just randomly signing two different unrelated players with the same name.
Steelers have also signed guard Andrus Pete today, I believe, who was selected first round in 2015, which blew my mind, by the way. It's 2025, that's a decade ago. And I remembered him getting drafted. And I'm like, oh, I'm getting so old. This dude is now a backup on the Raiders last year, played 9 years for the Saints, starting at guard primarily for them. But yeah, went as a
was he drafted as a guard or a tackle?
Was he drafted as a guard or a tackle? I don't remember.
Yeah,
but he played primarily.
I thought he was drafted as a tackle.
He's listed as a backup right tackle on our depth chart.
Yeah, and he has been training with the tackles today.
So I
would make sense. He would make sense. They don't need guards. They need tackles, right? Because
exactly.
Brojo sucks. First round, 13th pick, 2015. Yeah, 3 Pro Bowls. I mean, this is no joke.
Yeah.
He's. Has there been injuries? What's happened here?
Well, he like I say, he didn't play for the Raiders last year. 57 snaps, 1 game started, 15 games on the roster. So I think he's certainly got an opportunity now to push late and make the team because we're very thin at offensive tackle. But he's played primarily guard throughout his career, not played a lot of tackle. He is tackle versatile, and Tomlin pointed that out in his press conference. But this to me, I don't know what I think, Gav. I think you've probably brought up his name in the past when we've spoke about an offensive line option this late in the day. I just think they needed to sign one. I don't really know who else was on the market from a tackle perspective. I guess maybe he was, looking at the market, the best option who could play tackle.
Yeah, seems like a wise signing, and these guys, I kind of like to root for these dudes. Former first round pick, there was a reason why he was taken in the first round. You can always bet on talent, so hopefully there's something.
Massive dude as well, yeah, 6'7", 316, like Man Mountain.
31. That's not terribly old for a tackle, is it?
It's not, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if we could check in how it ended with the Saints, but I don't know how he didn't win that, because he clearly signed for a backup role with the Raiders. When was his last Pro Bowl, do you know?
2020.
The Pro Bowl's all 18 to 20. He had 3 in a row.
Yeah, 3 in a row, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So he's going to compete.
Yeah, it says he played 15 games, but only started 1 last year.
Yeah, 57 snaps in 2024.
I mean, in 2020, the Saints signed him for $57.5 million.
He signed big deals in the past.
Week 7, 2021. Maybe the injury derailed him. He's got injury problems.
Okay, and speaking of injury problems, on the
hungry
offensive line,
dude, pedigree. This is a guy to root for, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Calvin Anderson dealing with an injury. Gareth Warren dealing with an injury this week. Broderick Jones, groin injury through camp. Isaac Seumalo obviously was on started the training camp on PUP. He's back now, but he's been dealing with injuries through camp. So they've been very thin. I think when you start to get to that second and third team line, I think they've really just been having to rotate in also Rans and.
Yeah, Calvin Anderson concerns me a little bit, but there is positive news about Brojo. He's back and apparently has looked very good this week. Has really upped his game this week. So fingers crossed that translates. But especially today, apparently had another very good day today. So yeah, fingers crossed that carries on and we see more of that. It looks like he is going to get some snaps this weekend. So yeah, fingers crossed. But yeah, the injury concerns are mounting up slightly.
Yeah, I'll just run through some of the injuries I've got here. If you've got any others to add, Matt, because I know you keep a close eye on camp as well.
I mean, there is some crazy other team ones from today. Bloody hell! But,
really? You can fill me in on those after this.
Yeah.
So Alex Highsmith obviously is out with a groin for a little while, and I think that we can maybe all agree outside of the Will Howard is one of the more concerning ones because he's been having trouble with groin injuries the last 2 seasons, missing serious time. I think he missed 3 games. Was it last season or the season before? And I feel like he missed 6 games in one of the seasons. I can't recall, but it's been groin injuries. So I'm a little bit worried about Highsmith, just kind of being one of those dudes that's a little bit injury prone and has. I don't know what these groin injuries are. I don't speculate, but it seems to be a recurring issue.
I think I've seen that narrative. It doesn't feel like he's an injury-prone player. He's a physical player. Yes, he's had a few groin injuries, but do you think he's an injury-prone player? I don't feel like he's missed loads of time.
I think injury-prone is just a kind of a weird term, but just specifically, he seems to have a groin issue. I don't know what the specifics are of the injury, but he seems to keep re-aggravating his groin. I want to stop saying groin. I don't know. Is there another word I can say other than groin? If I keep thinking of the, old man gets hit by football in the groin on The Simpsons. It's just all I can think of whenever I think of that word. So I am a little bit concerned about it. He should be fine for the regular season, we hope, but it's just one of those things I don't want lingering in, like these soft tissue things, like lingering into the start of the season, and then, week 2 he gets a bang, and all of a sudden we're dealing with this all year with Alex Highsmith again. Yeah, I don't know. Just a little bit worried about that one myself. Derek Harmon missed a couple of practices, unsure if he'll play in this first preseason game. Mark, have you heard anything about Derek Harmon in the first preseason game?
He should be good to go.
Okay.
He was padded up today, so it looks like he might be all fine.
Okay, so we should get our first look at the first round pick against the Jags. That's awesome. Calvin Austin III, undisclosed injury, missed 4 practices this week. Tomlin said in his press conference yesterday that he was perking back up. Not sure if he's going to play in this game. I would imagine probably not.
I don't believe so, and I believe he missed practice today as well.
Okay. All right. So we're not going to see any Calvin Austin. That's unfortunate because you'd like to, have him getting some more reps in training camp with Rodgers. Everyone's going to be valuable, and that's 4 practices missed for him. Calvin Anderson, we mentioned him. He's missed 4 practices. Jalen Ramsey not practicing Wednesday with a sleeve on his leg. Apparently not a huge deal, this one. Like, it's not, don't worry, it's not a boot on his leg or anything like that, but just worth noting that Jalen Ramsey potentially got a lower body injury there that he's nursing. JPJ had partial practice after an injury this week. Corey Trice, hamstring injury on Friday Night Lights. He's out. I'm not sure how long for.
I'm worried about Trice, man.
Yep.
This
is
could
what
be
is this?
man.
This is again the third time. Is this third time? Second time?
Well, he
Where
missed
are we with Trice?
his entire season
What year
for
are we in?
rookie season. Did he have
Injured
some
at
injury
the back
worries
end.
last year? Yeah, back
he
end,
missed
wasn't it?
a few games
So
last
this is the
season.
third time. Yeah. I'm worried
So
about
very
Trice.
concerning. Deontay Kent, obviously, who's been pushing at cornerback. He was out of a boot this week, so we're hoping. I don't think he's going to play in this game, but maybe he'll come back for the latter 2 training camp games. Dean Lowry, right knee ACL injury on IR, going to miss the season. This is not IR boomerang, and this is not anything that we can cut him with an injury settlement. So he's sitting there on IR for the year, Dean Lowry.
Yeah,
Guy a lot of us had making the team, I think, as well, right? In the very early goings. Potentially would have made some top 53s, I think.
Not sure. I'm not sure I had him in there.
No.
Strong D-line group.
Yeah. Depending on injuries, how we get out of the...
Yeah.
Out of the
I mean, useful guy
chance.
to have, but yeah.
DeMarvin Leal, as you mentioned before the show, Mark, neck and head injury. Any update on that?
Nothing further from that, no.
Okay, that's all the injuries I've got noted, Mark. Is anything I've missed? Anything important there?
I don't think so. From a Steelers perspective, no. I think you pretty much nailed all of them there.
Just stacking up a
Johnny
bit, right?
Smith did have a bit of an issue,
he did?
but yeah, he had a knee issue a couple of days ago, but I think he's okay. He's not going to play this weekend, but he's
Okay.
one of the multitude of players who aren't. So
Yeah, we got the list of the players that aren't played, so I've got it here. This is the list of players that Tomlin said will not play against Jacksonville on Sunday. Aaron Rodgers, Jalen Ramsey, DK Metcalf, Jonnu Smith, JPJ, Darius Slay, Freiermuth, Jalen Warren, Isaac Seumalo, TJ Watt, Deshaun Elliott, Patrick Queen, Cam Haywood, Herbig, and Boswell.
Herbig was the only one that kind of surprised me on that. Like, it's good to see that he's in amongst that list, but I would have thought him and Sawyer might have had something going there, but especially as we've now released Jeremiah Moon, but yeah.
This signals to me that you're going to see a hell of a lot of Jack Sawyer in this game because you're not going to have Watt, you're not going to have Alex Highsmith, you're not going to have Herbig. Next man up on that list is Sawyer, and it's his first real game under the lights, first experience of NFL football.
That might be who I'm most excited to see now. With
Agreed.
Will Howard being out of preseason, I think it's wow Jack Sawyer time.
Absolutely. Who else are we in that? So who else is going to be seeing snaps outside linebacker in these preseason games? Who should we be looking for?
Who is it? Because Jeremiah Moon got released. So
you've got Eku Leota.
Yes,
interesting dude.
Mm-hmm.
Now I thought that Julius Welshoff was out, but he seems to be back, right?
I believe so. Yeah, I think he's been running stuff with thirds. I think from what I've seen, he's been very.
And
quiet.
he looked good last preseason. Now he's surprisingly old, isn't he? He's like, how old is he? 28 or something? You think he's how old is he? Yeah, 28. Obviously, he's the international pathway guy, but I was impressed with him last year. So I'm excited is a push, but I'm intrigued to see what he does. And then obviously DeMarvin Leal, do we think he can't go?
Yeah, that's it. Well, let's see. It's he was being looked at for a while, so maybe it's just a precaution thing because obviously the neck issues that he's had in the past, especially last year. So maybe it's just a precautionary thing because he's trying to make that run for a bit of a role change.
Last chance saloon, right? Last chance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I think
do we see any Malik Harrison rushing off the edge? Maybe.
I was wondering that.
If the lines are so thin. So are you saying Herbig's not going to go? He said that, right? So it's
Herbig's not going. Yeah.
What? Herbig not going to go. So it's Sawyer, Leotu, Welshoff. They can't play the whole game. Possibly now. So I think we put Harrison out there. That would make sense to me.
Yeah,
quite possibly. Maybe. Yeah. I wonder if there's maybe even a signing that comes in now that we're running so shallow at outside linebacker.
I would have thought that might have been done today with the others if that is the case. But it's still we've got a couple of days. Maybe someone gets drafted in quite late. But we'll see.
All right. Couple notes to mention here. Just kind of tidbits. This, by the way, didn't mention at the top. Probably should have done. Very tidbitty show we've got today.
This is the Steelers in Springfield episode, isn't it? This is
Steelers in Springfield.
We're not doing anything. Simpsons in Springfield. Steelers in Springfield. Let's do it. Yeah.
Steelers in Springfield.
This is the stay at home and chat Steelers show. No real format.
There's a lot of stuff going on, and then obviously next week we've got our first NFL football, outside of the Hall of Fame game, weekend in forever. So we're gonna have a lot to talk about next week. But
just while we're on the subject of the Hall of Fame game, I enjoyed the fact it started with a fumble and then a Trey Lance touchdown.
That was a very Hall of Fame game, yeah. Right after the game that just got abandoned after like 25 minutes because it rained.
How long has the Hall of Fame game been going now? Is that been a long time? Because I would love to know how many actual Hall of Famers have played the Hall of Fame game.
Oh, like how many Hall of Famers have played in it? Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, because
there's probably some rookies out there who have had their chance
seen action.
Yeah, but I can't remember how long it's been. Yeah. Has it been going on that long? I don't really know.
The Hall of Fame game was first played 11th of August, 1962. So I'd say it's a while.
Someone's played in it then.
And the first game was a barnstorming 21-21 tie between the Giants and Cardinals. Now I'm not sure what city though they're from because the Cardinals would have been St. Louis. Giants would have been New York, I guess. I don't know.
It's the New York Giants and St. Louis Cardinals. Yeah. And then the following year, the Steelers beat the Browns 16-7. Woo. And then the following year after that, we got absolutely smashed 48-17 by the Baltimore Colts.
We were in the Hall of Fame game too with the first 3 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Proud history.
That's when we were. That's still when we were rubbish. So.
I think the answer to the question is 0 because the Hall of Fame players would have had to retire for 5 years before they'd be Hall of Fame eligible.
No,
I mean, in future,
that's not what he means. He means they
mean.
play in the game, and then later in their career they get inducted into the.
I'm just giving you the technicalities.
Also, can I give a massive shout out to this can't be right, the 1980 Hall of Fame game between the San Diego Chargers and the Green Bay Packers, which finished 0-0.
No,
wow.
Was it called off?
Must have been. Hang on, there is a note with it.
Oh.
Master
Take
Oh.
a note.
was called with 5:29 remaining in the fourth quarter due to lightning. So they played most of the
Wow, we
game.
played most of the game.
Yeah.
We need
Good
like
lord.
a John Boy's like review of that game. Maybe you can go in there.
Some spiritual body decided that they'd had enough of this and we'll call it off.
Anyone remember the last time the Steelers played it? Wasn't too long ago.
It wasn't long ago. Yeah, it was a few years ago, right?
4 or
I
5
remember.
years?
2021.
Was it Palomalu's? Yeah, Palomalu's time.
Beat the Cowboys 16-3.
Yeah, because that was deep COVID. We were all going to go out to the Palomalu Hall of Fame induction, do you remember? And then the Chinese virus happened and we didn't do it. So, yeah.
Were we?
Yeah, well, we're
I'll take your
talking
word
about
for it.
Yeah, this might have been like the the final lockdown or something like that, potentially.
Yeah.
2021, weird year.
Right, let's talk about some training camp whispers that I've got here. Again, as with the previous section, please jump in if you've got any little tidbits.
Am I
that you
okay
would like
to start
Yeah.
with something, if that's
Sure,
okay?
please.
Because
Yeah.
I think there's been one man that absolutely needs to be highlighted out of training camp so far. And, I know you started the show, Gav, by stabbing me somewhat in the chest by bringing up
Ooh.
the Will Howard thing. I'm not
Sorry,
going to do that in kind because Yaya Black has been sensational in camp. I am nicknaming that man Batman because he has been batting balls everywhere. All
He's a menace at the
constantly
line.
He is. He's
menace.
tipping balls everywhere, left, right, and centre. He has been a menace, and people are massively, massivly impressed by what he's been doing in camp. So there's another dude I'm really excited to see.
I'm sorry, it was so obvious from the tape. I don't know why no one else saw it.
Absolute dog.
Obvious.
Absolute dog. Yeah.
You're gonna see a lot of him, I guess, as well, because a lot of the D line sitting. You're not going to have any Cam Hayward, right? He's been kind of playing that spot, I believe. Although they listed him as nose tackle on the depth chart, which apparently he's not been playing.
He's been
de-ending. Yeah. He's on my list of camp winners and losers. Which I've got here. Should we get into
do that.
Or
That'd be a good way to do this. Yeah.
All right, so I've got a quick list, but please update me. This is probably out of date because I collated this middle of week. Number 1, Jalen Ramsey looks dominant, elite speed, instincts, physicality. Looks like he's going to be a cornerstone of an elite secondary and possibly the best defense in the league. Thoughts?
The hype is real.
I think it is. I think it might be.
Did you? So I just very quickly, I want to mention I watched a bit of the McAfee thing that happened the day before we recorded the last episode, and you talked about it, Mark. Man, the energy was insane. I've not seen, and the reason I bring that up, is just because Tomlin was on the stage, and he was really juicing up some of these guys, and I was thinking to myself, is this just hype, or does Tomlin kind of feel it this year? Because the way he's juicing up some of these moves, and Jalen Ramsey especially, how important he's going to be to the defense and the physicality, and how much he's going to bring, how much they're going to focus what they're doing around him in the secondary. I'm I think he kind of believes it this year. He's kind of feeling. I don't know. That was the vibe I got from him. When it comes
I just think he's going to be so much more impactful than Minka was going to be at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm excited
for the game plan, right? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's not a comment on Minka, but
no, it's not a comment on Minka. It's just the position he plays. The fact he plays close to the line, he can do more things. Be close to the ball, make more impactful plays easier. He's not expected to. The thing about Minka is he had duties, right? Jalen Ramsey has less duties. He's more freer to play the ball.
Let me ask you: do you think that? So this is all great and dandy, right? And it all sounds awesome in training camp. But are we going to? Is there a potential that we get to real games and balls are going over our head quite a lot, and we're sort of saying "Whoa, are we missing something here?" We've got more aggressive up front, but have we lost something at the back?
But then there's number 3 on my list, maybe to give us some hope. But let's move. Let's push on to number 2 quickly.
Okay,
James Pierre. Hell of a camp. Stepped up after Trice went down, and he's had quite a few picks and just absolute lock on special teams. Man, he's going to slot in as that backup behind the other. If we're going to a man heavy look, which I think we will be with Ramsey and Porter, then Pierre's going to be quite important because he's not too shabby in man marking either. So I think that's really promising. Pierre, an uncut gem. There, it's coming through.
Wow, I thought we were out on Pierre. I didn't realize he was having such a great camp.
That's what I've seen. Is it any
Oh, I have
disagreement
no.
there, Mark?
I have no
No,
idea.
he did get absolutely mossed by Metcalf at one point, but other than that,
Well, that's a good thing.
other
That's
than
a
that,
good
I've
thing.
not seen. Yeah,
I like this. No matter what happens, it's a good thing because everyone's on
It's
our
a good
team.
thing. There's
That's the thing.
positives in every direction. Number 3, and this is what I was talking about before. Juan Thornhill seems to some
Yes.
reports I've seen seamlessly replaced Minka Fitzpatrick. Now I'm sure that's strong, but brings edge and versatility, and I think another a low key signing. But if he's just going to do the duties at the back and let these guys play, pressure up front, fine.
That's so off season, isn't it? He's seamlessly replacing another player that's gone out the.
Well, let's see.
That is in
We'll
the
see in this game. He's going to be
the
playing.
glossary
so we'll
of
Cheap player
glossary
X
of-
replaces superstar
Yeah.
player Y.
that is bingo
Tropes.
card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see if we get any tropes here.
I have heard he's had a good camp though. I agree. That is on the grapevine.
Scotty Miller, number 4.
Yes.
Oh dear. Explosive route running, reliable hands, outperforming expected wide receiver 3s and 4s like Roman Wilson and Robert Woods. Although Roman Wilson has stepped up in the last week or so, it seems.
He had a bit of a scare today, Roman Wilson, but he seems to be okay. Another possible groin hip thing, but he's fine. But I think Roman Wilson has stepped up okay. But I think I agree with you on Scotty Miller. The problem I have with Scotty Miller being so good is that I don't know. I don't think he probably is on your list, but Rock Taylor has looked really good with the 3s.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find a world where I can put Rock Taylor on this roster, and Scotty Miller's making it very difficult for me.
Hey, Rock Taylor is a perfect practice squad elevator,
I'm scared because
that's
I
ideal for
think
him.
someone might pip him. Someone might pick him up before he gets on the chance to get on the practice squad. I'm genuinely worried about that because Rock has been really, really good.
He's the one you think is going to get away.
I think he could. I'm really, really scared to try and put that dude in the practice squad. But if we manage to get away with that, then hell yeah, I'll be buzzing for that. Yeah, you say Scotty Miller has had a really good camp, and yeah, it's very hard to displace him.
Okay, another winner, the O-line, Troy Fautanu and Mason McCormick. Fautanu living up to expectations after the injury, and McCormick rebounded from his injury problems and just like some small struggles. Strong form there. So that's encouraging. Need those guys to be good.
Yeah, Fautanu's another interesting one for this weekend. I'm really, really interested to see how he performs, especially as Jacksonville seem to be playing their starters to begin with as well.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. Travis Hunter's going to play corner and wide receiver.
Whoa, we're the first team.
We're the first team
okay.
to see that in action. So
deal
That's
with it.
fun.
yeah. So, but yeah, they're gonna be playing their starters. So yeah, if the O line is starting, the starters are starting, well, at least for the most part. Then yeah, hopefully we see some good stuff out of Fautanu against what would that be up against? What's his face? Walker.
Yeah.
So big test.
Yeah, big test. Derek Harmon and Y.A. Black next. It seems like Harmon's been unblockable as advertised, and Black just interior disruption, run plays, batted passes. No pass rush there as such, but just against the run, what you want from a Steelers D end, he's there, perfect.
It is a
And
pass
does
rush. He's
Derek
just
Harmon-
batting every bloody thing down. It's just unbelievable.
And doesn't Derek Harmon look a bit like Cam Hayward?
Does a little bit.
I don't know.
Might need to
I
beat
think
Cam
he does.
Hayward at this rate. Mm-hmm.
Well, he'll just take the mantle, pass the crown.
Again, apparently
And
the
then
coaches think that Derek Harmon pick is a home run.
Yeah,
Supposedly.
yeah, perfect pick. And then last one, although he's injured, Calvin Austin, I think, has been a winner. I think he's shown some. Is he clearly wide receiver too? I doubted him.
I think he is. Clearly might be strong, but before the injury, I pretty much would have said CA3. Yeah, he's the man as wide receiver too. So
No, I was saying it's going to be Robert Woods. We haven't really seen it emerge yet. I think Woods has been dealing with a few injuries and
I
things.
was never on that. I was never
Well,
on
let's
that
see. I still think it's possible, but we might see.
You
Woods,
might have to be now,
emerge,
but yeah.
emerge in the game over training camp. But yeah, Calvin Austin is done well. So that's all my winners. Have you got any other winners you want to bring up?
Oh, well, do you know what? Aaron Rodgers. It sounds to me like all observers of camp are saying like, doesn't look like an old man out there, looks spry, brings an air. And let's be honest, if you listen to him talk and stuff during training camp, kind of got a different vibe to him. It feels like right now. I don't know.
This is
The
what I said
energy to
last
me
week. This is what I said last week.
kind of feels positive right now. Who knows how it's all going to go ultimately,
Yeah.
but I think he's been a winner throughout this process in the last month. His stock has risen massively.
I think it's started a little bit rough for him, and I think it's just gotten better recently. I think him and Metcalf are really starting to click. I think him and Roman Wilson are clicking as well, which is really good. I would have thought I would have seen more out of him in the tight ends, but I mean, one thing I am excited to see is he seems to be finding Washington in the end zone on these drills.
And he was the next name I was going to say as well. It's Darnell Washington, who's been attracting a lot of praise.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's gotten better for Rodgers, and I'm feeling it a little bit more in that respect. I just felt it last week from a vibe perspective. I was like, I've strangely seemed to be enjoying this version of Aaron Rodgers I'm seeing, but from a play perspective, it's certainly gotten a little bit better over the last week. It's a shame we won't see any snaps this weekend, but maybe we'll get some towards the end of the preseason. Who knows? But we'll see.
Winning over the character concerned doubters, perhaps.
For me, yeah, definitely. Like
at the moment, yeah.
At the moment, yeah. I do say it, knowing that it could all just crumble in a second, but as is Aaron Rodgers' way sometimes. But yeah, far,
let's see
so
how
good.
it goes on a rainy, misty Monday night football game
Exactly,
against
in
a difficult
Cleveland,
opponent.
yeah.
And things go wrong. Yeah, let's see then. But at the moment, good vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that Darnell Washington said that he may be open to playing tackle one day?
I think
they might need him to.
He's
might be
always
the best
said that, though,
backup
isn't he?
tackle on the team.
Yeah, isn't his
someone
Instagram like
asked him.
literally the sixth lineman or something like that?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. But someone asked him specifically, like, would you actually like switch to tackle if and he said he would be open to it. So I just thought it's interesting. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, but just interesting.
Would he be the best pass catching tackle in the league?
Yeah, you'd hope so.
I mean, I like the ferocity. The ferocity. I mean, it's all highlight clips. I didn't put him as a winner just because not really sure he's made that much. But in the red zone, he's awoken. He's awoke, right? And I love the way he just high points the ball and brings it down with ferocity. Looks confident. Looks like aggressive. With a man of his size, with that amount of aerial agility. He's promising, and maybe this is the unlocking of Mount Washington that we were all hoping for.
That's what excites me a little bit about having a guy like Aaron Rodgers all of a sudden compared to what we've had in the last few years. It's felt like we've been trying to get uphill, right? And it doesn't really matter who we surrounded our quarterbacks with. They couldn't really make the most of the weapons they were given because they were just scrambling around trying to figure it out themselves. Aaron Rodgers can make the most of a guy like Darnell Washington in the red zone. I think we're going to see that so much more this season. I think Darnell Washington might be a little breakout. Maybe we can have a little a sandwich bet at some point about how many touchdowns he scores this season.
I mean, it's not hard, is it? What does Aaron Rodgers bring you? Pre-snap defense reading, right? And if that means that the second tight end is open, he's going to go to him. He's not going to run around, wait for pressure, try and see what's happening. He's not Kenny Pickett. He's just going to pick a guy and go wait for him to open it because he knows what the defense is doing. So even if he can't run around and he looks, like a granddad moving in, sack drills, who cares? Like he's one step ahead mentally. So let's give him a chance here. I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, ready for some losers?
Yeah, sure. I wanted to just quickly. I thought Scobro, I've heard a lot of good things about as well. I don't know if he's got.
Oh, he went down with something as well, I think, but I think he's okay. I think he's okay. Yeah, but he had a bit of a issue at one point
because between him and Scotty Miller, obviously, both attracting some, and obviously we know what Scobro can do special teams wise. That was what I was wondering with Robert Woods if he was potentially on the outs, but we'll see.
I wouldn't be so sure about on the outs, but yeah, excited. I think Scobro is a lock for the special teams, and yeah, we'll see some Scobro plays. Right, losers. Number one overall, Broderick Jones. Right, it's got his concerns mounting, I think, although he has had a little uptick recently, but still concerned. Is he ready? Is he durable? He looks a little bit lighter, been struggling. We've seen the whiffs. This is concerning.
It started really badly for him, but as I say, positive news coming out of this last week since his injury seems to be on the right track again. So again, need to see it. I'll believe it when I see it on the field. But yeah, definitely to begin with, he was absolutely a loser. You saw it in some, a couple of clips. He's just
and this is your left tackle,
getting
ladies and
horribly
gentlemen.
beaten.
Your
Yeah, exactly.
blindside protector for Aaron Rodgers, who can't move.
Yeah.
So this is concerning.
Yeah.
Wise move to bring in a veteran tackle. I wouldn't be surprised if they brought someone else in, actually, just as an insurance plan. Number 2, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but Beanie Bishop. I don't think I've seen that much about him. He was getting pushed by Dante Kent until the injury, and just seems to be fading. And sometimes that happens with these UDFA guys. They ride a wave into the team. I was never that keen on him anyway. I thought his agility is not great, and I think with this new revamped secondary, I think he's been sticking out as a guy that's not quite up to the standard. The standard isn't the standard with him.
Yeah, I think he might be a little bit of a victim of circumstance with the way that this secondary has changed.
Yeah, I've seen more about Brandon Eccles than I have about Beanie Bishop. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, so he's a loser. And then last of all, because I haven't got many losers, because I don't want to be a too negative down note.
He's a loser.
He's a loser.
He's a loser. This is a general one. Just the offense generally has not been winning, has it? It's had some issues. It's not really looked like it's firing on all cylinders. A little bit of short game passing's been all right, but there's been no massive plays. It's just been defense is dominating. But that's maybe purely because this could be the best defense in the league, and the offense hasn't really got going yet. But I'd say the defense has won the day in camp.
For the most part, yeah. There have been a couple of days where the offense has looked good and has won 7 shots, here and there. It's not been blowouts by any means, but I mean, yeah, this defense looks really, really good. Hopefully, it continues that way. But I think I'm not too worried offensively. I can't remember who it was. It might have been DJ. I can't remember, but somebody said just as a key point to every offseason, as to every team in the offseason, the defense is going to be ahead at this point.
Yeah,
it was DJ. Yeah, preseason PSA, just about every defense is ahead of every offense at this point in training camp. So, yeah, I'm not.
It's. I mean, from my limited touch, non-contact playing of football, it is easier to play defense. Like you just go out there and make a play. Whereas offense takes some coordination.
Yes, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It's tough.
Takes longer for it to come together. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I don't think that's a surprise at all. And not only that, but what's the strength of this team?
Yeah, D.
Right. So also maybe to be expected in that sense. Even if we were in regular season form, this defense you might hope would cook this offense in some ways. But yeah.
Final thing.
Yep.
Titans are winners.
Oh, winners! I thought we were on losers.
So yeah, we are. So that makes wide receivers. Losers.
Oh no.
Losers. But that's a scheme thing, and that's our identity now. We need to lean into that. But yeah, it's hard. It's tough to be a wide out pass catcher on this team, isn't it? If you're Scotty Miller / I don't know, whoever your favorite Scarborough, whoever it is, not many opportunities if the Steelers are running out 4 tight ends.
If your name ain't DK Metcalf, you probably ain't catching more than 25 balls this year. Well, maybe Calvin has a chance there. But
even then, I mean, that's going to be 10 snaps a game, 3 targets. It's going to be tough.
It may well be. Yeah, I wouldn't be drafting any of these guys in fantasy this year other than DK. Go back.
Could I one shout out for a winner? Caleb Johnson's backpack. I don't know if you've seen this.
That was nice. Yeah,
I haven't seen this.
He's got a Bowser shell
backpack.
Oh,
cool.
Yeah, I'll put
and them Zoomers are coming in.
Yeah. I'll put it in the chat now. But it's a hell of a backpack. Love that. He's had a up and down camp. I think.
I was going to say I'd heard mostly good things about him. Maybe I don't know. I'd heard kind of good things about him, but
yeah, there've been some very good moments. Certainly, I think there's been some ball security issues as well, but only a couple, I think. But
did we have fumble issues in college with Caleb?
Can't remember now.
Let's go back to check the tape on that.
The issues with him was a lack of pass protection and
all the stuff he said he was going to work with Lev Bell on. So.
Kets, can I set you like a wild dog to find out Caleb's fumbling stats in college?
Seemed like a wild dog.
Thank you, sir. That's what we need.
Wild
Another
dog.
guy, another guy I want to mention while we're just doing this. I've heard great stuff about Max Hellman. Maybe not a guy who's going to make the 53, but as a practice squad potential dude who's turning heads. At wide receiver, Max Hellman. I've heard no, not getting a lot of nods.
Yeah. What does he play? This is at Notre Dame. He was listed as a DB.
Yeah, did a little bit of everything.
Steelers bio page is listed as a running back. Yeah, and he's been with the wide receivers.
I think wide receiver has been what he's been like primarily doing at camp, but
he's a goddamn ball player.
Yeah, he's a football player.
He's a football guy.
Max Hellman, football player.
Yes, I think we might have recently. This has been a really great underrated battle in this. I think we might have the winner of the punters potentially.
Oh.
From yesterday, Cam Johnson absolutely hooned one, and it was the most beautiful thing people had seen. Apparently,
really?
Yeah, I think ultimately he's going to win this job, but I think both have done very, very well. Yeah, he had a 70-yard, 5-second punt yesterday. Cam Johnson, absolute hooner of a punt.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's going to be Johnston. Was he? Oh, they were Waitman or Johnston on the depth chart. So, see how that goes. But
yeah. I was going to ask about the depth chart. I don't think it matters a whole deal, but any surprises there on the depth chart? Like you say, it was Corliss Waitman or Cameron Johnson listed at punter. Yeah. But
I think the two things that stood out to me on that depth chart was one, Pat Fryermuth or Jonnu Smith. That was interesting. Yep. As a
we talked about that on the questions that need answers on training camp.
We did, exactly.
And now we've got one. Or don't, as the case may be.
Yeah,
I don't think
got
that's been
further
answered
questions. Yeah. Caleb Johnson is RB3. I think that was possibly to be expected. Kenny Gainwell seems to be somewhat the forgotten man in all this. I think he's actually had.
Well, he's there as a returner, right?
Yeah. You see him jump over that tire.
What's strange about that is that Kenneth Gainwell feels to me like he's been getting a lot of run in training camp. Like I'm hearing a lot of Kenneth Gainwell talk. So
he's running over tires, like literally hurdling tires. So.
Yeah, I'm not hearing much Trey Sermon or Evan Hull talk, and maybe that's to be expected.
Evan
I've
Hull's
heard more about Lou Nichols
okay,
than Trey Sermon.
Yeah, Lou Nichols seems to be coming through. Yeah, Evan Hull's had pieces.
I expect to see a lot of Trey Sermon and Evan Hull in this first preseason game as well, I imagine.
Excited for Sermon, got to be honest.
Jack Sawyer or DeMarvin Leal was another.
That is interesting, isn't it? That says a lot about Leal to me, about what they think of Leal and where we are.
Rookie potentially as well, maybe. I mean, Derek Harmon's firmly on there. I mean, Y.A. Black is behind Daniel Ekwali. He's third string nose tackle on here. So.
But I mean, they have said that this depth chart is just because they have to produce them.
Exactly.
But right, okay, they just have to produce them. But then why did they write? They could have just put DeMarvin Leal 2 and Jack Sawyer 3. But they didn't do that.
Don't want to hurt feelings, you see.
Just interesting, isn't it? I don't think that hurts a rookie's feelings because you can just kind of explain it away, right? It doesn't really matter. It's just a rookie thing. So to me, that's them making a point to DeMarvin Leal. It speaks more to him than it does to Jack Sawyer, in my opinion. It's like, hello, dude. Now you've got a broom up your ass, and we've given a rookie your job.
I think it's also been pretty much confirmed that Christian Kuntz is going to retain the long snapper job, considering we've just released the other long snapper. So,
there goes Tucker Addington.
See you, Tucker. We hardly knew you.
I've got another bit, unless someone else has got something to go to.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, sorry, go on. Please,
Caleb Johnson had 3 fumbles in his Iowa career, and he went 39 consecutive games without a fumble, 475 touches. And he had 0 fumbles in 450 snaps in his final season. And it sounds like the only fumble he lost the ball on was during his rookie season against Ohio State. But yeah,
I guess he can run the ball.
Sure hands.
Cool. Good info, Kets. Well done. Thank you. That's okay. So that calms my mind. Hopefully there's not a big ball control issue. Let's keep an eye out for that.
Should be all right. It might have been just 1 or 2. But yeah.
I wondered if maybe anyone wanted to attempt any of the pronunciations at the bottom of the sheet in the depth chart.
Oh, they are always fun, aren't they?
obviously the tough one this year is Esezio Tomewa. And I do like Christian Kuntz, who just says, Kuntz.
And it's Janu Smith.
Oh, it's
We
Janu.
keep saying Janu.
Janu Smith. Yeah, that's going to... I'm not going to be able to do that. Did we need one for
Have you heard any?
I guess.
Have you heard any pop for Carson Brunner?
Not really.
Not
I haven't
really,
heard a
no.
scrap.
No, and I do think, obviously he got picked a little bit earlier, perhaps, than some expected. Was it 5th round for Carson Brunner?
7th, wasn't it?
Oh, was it 7th round?
I thought so.
No, Bruno was... Did we have 2 7th-round picks? Can't remember.
I could be just going...
No.
Let me check. Let me remind myself.
I thought it was a 5th-round pick. Or 6th round. Was it the 5th we didn't have?
200... Yeah, no, Gav's totally right. Yeah, it was a 7th round pick.
He was a 7th.
Why did I think 5th round as well? Where was that coming from? Who was that 5th round pick?
Why?
Yeah, Black, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Will was our 6th. We didn't have a...
I'm just going crazy. Like Gav says, Mercury really is in retrograde today.
I think so.
Well, in that case, yeah, it makes it even less surprising that I think he's a practice squad guy, right? And I think you're going to easily get him there. I don't think there's any concern about that, and I think that's what he's destined for.
Definitely, if you were moulding human beings, I'd say he doesn't look dissimilar from me. There's some similarities with Carson Brunner and me.
Yeah, I've seen you, Gav. You're quite athletic. I think you could mould a role.
I mean, facially. I'm sure he's more of a. I'm 45, a bit over the hill. Drink too much. He's at the prime. He's 24, so he's got father time on his side. I just mean facially. It's from a similar kind of genetic pool for me. That's all.
Interesting.
Oh, there's one name we haven't mentioned here, Si. I'm surprised neither of us have brought him up. Braden Fahoko.
He's back.
Our boy is back.
Oh, did we not
most
speak about
hilarious
that?
man on Twitter? I don't think so.
my
I was
mind,
going to
for
say
some
he's a
reason,
great
we talked
follow
about
on Twitter, right? He's pretty outspoken.
Yeah, he broke the news of his own signing.
Yeah.
Love that. Love when a player can do that.
He's so funny, man. Yeah. I hope he finds at least a practice squad spot.
Yeah. Yeah, they seem to like him. They keep keeping him around as a kind of a guy they're interested in. Yeah, so Gav, please. You said you had another bit you wanted to move to. I interrupted you.
Yeah, I thought this was an interesting idea. I'm going to open it up to the floor, but just to set the thing, I thought we could grade some of the off-season moves in a kind of look back.
Yeah, in a hindsight way.
So just as a setup, Steelers lost players with a combined 16 Pro Bowl selections, including Minka, George Pickens, Najee. But with the additions, we've seen 42 total Pro Bowl selections added and subtracted, which is more than any team since the 2004 Raiders. So much churn on this roster. Yeah, big time. But I thought we could go through some categories here and grade the moves and see what we think. So I thought, right, QB upgrade from last year. What grade? Let's give it a letter grade. What would you give? So Rodgers, Will Howard. What is it? An upgrade, a downgrade from Russell Wilson? What would you give? What would you give the front office there?
Are we saying C is like the same and then going around from there? Is that how we're kind of?
Yeah, exactly. C's just things continue. B's, D's bad, B's good. Where would you give it? The upgrade to the QB room?
I think it's a B.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you've got to kind of take circumstances into account as well, and I would say B, given the situation we were in.
I agree, B. Bit of a gamble on Rodgers, but some high upside there.
Yeah.
Ketz, what do you think?
Yeah, that's a B-. I think you have to knock off a point for the way that they dealt with Fields last year, which kind of forced their hand, and then there was one point during the offseason where we had no QB, no hope, and we were relying on... It's all right now, Aaron Rodgers in the building, but I think we've got to remember... There was a point at which he was like, I might retire, and then we'd have been up a proverbial creek without a paddle.
Right, but it worked out in the end.
It did.
So I'm just, give me results rather than process in this.
And here's the best thing I can say about it. At the time, me and Mark were both very pro Justin Fields, I believe.
Yep.
In terms of that was kind of the move we wanted to make. We thought it was just the smartest thing to do to stick with a young quarterback. I've got to be honest, as I'm looking at it now, I'm kind of like, I kind of don't know that I'd change it, given where we are right now. And I know not a lot has really changed, but just given kind of what the vibes are, what the outlook is, kind of what the future looks like, it's got nothing to do with Justin Fields having a toe injury. It's just that, like, I don't know. I just feel like if we had Justin Fields, I'd kind of be locked into a certain mindset about where this team was and where it was going. And right now, I guess the options feel a little bit open after an interesting season here with Aaron Rodgers. So all that is to say, I approve of the move. After probably spending weeks complaining about it earlier.
I totally agree. I'd be way more worried about how this season was going to go with Justin Fields. I think the Jets lost, Steelers win. But it's still geriatric Rodgers, so yeah, B I think is
we'll see that in week 1. Yep.
Wide receiver moves.
Tough one, this. So what? Pickens
Obviously,
is
Metcalf
gone.
comes in. Pickens trade, controversial trade.
And then
Roman Wilson,
we've got Robert Woods in. Yeah, Roman Wilson's not really a move as such. Kind of need to put that one to one side, I guess.
Yeah, that's not a move at all this season. I would say C.
I suppose it feels like a move, like he was injured. So yeah, okay, fine.
I think it's a C. Yeah, I think it's very much we're kind of in the same boat we were last year. Still, it kind of still remains to be seen the impact Metcalf will have compared to what impact Pickens had last year.
Yeah.
And you're still having the talk of do we really have a wide receiver too? And it's a lot of the same bodies that are in there as well from last year. So yeah, I'm not. I think C is absolutely right for this.
Cats?
Yeah.
I'm going to go B because I think Metcalf is an upgrade on Pickens. I also think that Metcalf is more well-rounded in terms of doing different things, whereas Pickens was a bit of a one-trick pony to a certain extent. I almost think with the way that we're playing with so many tight ends, it doesn't really matter as much what we do with the wide receivers. And I think having Metcalf there as a potential alternative target monster compared to, targeting the tight ends quite heavily, I think he's an upgrade, and I think we'll look back on this season and be like, yeah, that's a great move. I'm glad we did it.
Kets, I feel like I spent the last 2 years listening to you take repeated victory laps about you being the guy that loved George Pickens before he came out. And now I feel like the narrative has switched somehow. And
is it because Pickens has been a little bitch in his...
Mark is on
Well, sorry, but he has been. He absolutely has been. Now he's not a Steeler anymore. F that guy. Like, he is just being a little douche. I will say as well, actually, maybe I could upgrade it to a C+, because I would say that, as much as I dog on him, I would say that Robert Woods is an upgrade over Van Jefferson.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, maybe C+ if I'm going to put, kind of put it in a bit more favourable light. But, yeah, it's still around a C.
Yeah, I'm keeping it at C. I'm just subtracting a few points for the George Pickens, like the way I don't think we maximised the handling of George Pickens and his value, and so that's part of it for me. But sorry, go on, Gav. What were you going to say?
I was going to say I think it's a B for me, but I could be persuaded B-. But with the way the offense is, having Metcalf is just that guy's going to be a target hog, alpha monster. But what happens if he goes down?
That's the worry.
No one there,
and that's exactly what the worry we had last year.
Yeah, we haven't changed.
Yeah, so that makes me think it's a B-. I think it's an improvement, so it's not a C. C would be the same. So I think it's a B-. Because who does replace Metcalf?
Yeah, exactly. We'd have to go on the open market, and even then.
Yeah. There's going to be a game, isn't there? You know it. There'll be, even if there's not, let's all touch collective wood and hope that DK Metcalf stays healthy all year, but there's going to be something. There's going to be like part of a game, or there's going to be a game where he nicks something in training, and we're going to be like, well, what are we doing this week? Throw into Darnell Washington 15 times.
This might not get picked up, but Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin. Come on,
Scary Terry.
I know it's not, but oh man,
that would be Pittsburgh Steelers going to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, then happens. I would be. Yeah, that would be me going. If this team doesn't go to the Super Bowl, I give up.
How many years in the future can you trade draft picks again? It's like 3 years, right?
3 years,
right? So let's just trade next year's first round pick for Scary Terry. Let's trade the year after's for Micah Parsons.
Hang on. The draft is in Pittsburgh next year.
Yeah, we need next.
And they need a quarterback.
Yeah, we need.
All right, we'll set Omar Khan on him, and we'll get a second
Simon
round
just got
pick.
booed by the entire city.
All right, All right,
Yeah.
we'll do a
There's
second round pick,
beer cans getting thrown at you.
a second round pick, and no, I'll tell you what. No. 5th round pick and Pat Fryermuth for Scary Terry.
Ooh, that's a good move. Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah.
Ooh.
Fire that one up. I'll take it.
Wow. Interesting.
All right, here's an easy one. Here's an easy one for you. Secondary overhaul.
Oh, now that's interesting because it includes the Minka trade.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
But you got Jaden Ramsey, Darius Slay,
Juan Thornhill, keeping Miles Killebrew around, Deshaun Elliott
Deshaun Elliott's
re-signing.
still on this. I mean, yeah, if we're talking just moves,
Yeah. Brandon Eccles comes
I want
in.
to say a B plus because it's difficult to say an A when you get rid of Minka, but I
Darius
do
Slay.
really like a lot of the moves that we've made. I think
you can
those.
say A, but you just have to preface it with minus.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, yeah. What's a B plus and an A minus? Like, are they
Wait,
not the
what's
same
a minus
thing?
A? If you preface an A with a minus, then surely you've got a minus A.
Okay, well done there on the technicality.
Is that how Canadians say it? It's a minus.
Suffix
A.
it, bitch.
Minus A.
That's a sound drop.
Yeah. I'm going full fat A here. I just think suddenly this secondary is a weapon.
This is the man who did not want to say
full
that Minka was
fat
the
A.
problem last year.
I think it's
touchdowns
touchdowns
are
are overrated. I just think this secondary is something to be feared. This is an identity. We're going to press the hell out of your guys. We're going to out physical them. You ain't catching any passes, so you better do something up the middle. This is huge improvement.
I agree. No, I'd go A minus with Kets. I'd temper it a little bit with the loss of Minka. I don't want to go nuts. I don't think we've gone from zero to hero here, but I do love the way we've attacked the position. I think there's a plan there. I think there's a vision, which we've not had, I think, in recent years. So I'm happy with A minus for the moves in the secondary. A lot of new faces too. Re-signing Deshaun Elliott was a great move as well.
Okay, next one.
What's the
depth moves?
Have you got an idea? Could you talk to us about some of those? What are you thinking? What fits into that for you?
Well, who have they signed for depth?
Well, I suppose you could say.
I don't want to give too much away with where I'm going with this one because what
Malik
do you
Harrison
think about? Obviously, they've signed a few
jumps out
stars.
to me. Sorry, go on. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're talking, Eku Leota. I can't even say the damn names. Ezi Otomueo.
You need to look at the bottom of the sheet. The bottom of the
Brandon Eccles. What the moves they've made here.
And depth, would that include things like draft picks? Like, would Yaya Black be included in this conversation as well?
I guess so, but
that's depth relevant.
It's more the free agents, I suppose. Kenneth Gainwell. How have they filled the back end of the roster?
I'm tempted, honestly, to say
Andreas
like
Pete maybe plays into this.
Yeah, that's currently, yeah. Although again, that feels like really more to do with the injuries we've had. I'm tempted to say, see what you think of this. A C plus is where I'm at with this. I struggled with our depth last season. I thought it was a weakness, and I still think it is.
I think they've kind of moved people down the depth charts to a certain extent. So guys that were previously in and around starting roles are now quite rightly much deeper than they were. I think that's kind of how they've.
What kind of guys are you talking about when you say that?
Just like the Loudermilks, Logan Lee, Connor Hayward.
These are the moves. Remember the moves, not what was already there.
Like Corey Trice and Beanie Bishop. Just looking at the defense initially, they're now like secondary guys, second tier guys compared to these guys have got to take 25 snaps this game, kind of thing.
I'm not overawed by it. Malik Harrison's a good,
for him, Juan Thornhill, although it might not even be so much depth at this point. After
Chuck Clark, good signing. Brandon Eccles, is that strong?
Yeah,
I think the lack of O-line, other than now Andrews Pete's come in there.
That's the real quiz, Mark.
Yeah,
that's it. That's what I think. That's
the
where
problem. I think that's what makes me. I don't even know if I could put. Is it worse than last year?
I don't think it's worse than last year. The depth last year, I think Ket sits on the right point there that it wasn't great, and I think actually it's been marginally improved. Marginally improved by some of these, like by a Malik Harrison, by a Brandon Eccles, where last year it was Beanie Bishop. but I don't think it's anything crazy. So I'm going with C+.
I'm going to just say C. I don't see much of a muchness, to be honest. Yeah, I'm still not overawed by it the same way I wasn't last year. Yeah, I don't think it's got any worse, but has it got better?
I mean, I feel a bit less stressed about like outside linebacker depth, right? I feel a little bit less stressed about corner depth.
I feel less stressed about corner depth, but I mean that O-line depth still concerns
The O-line
hell
depth
out of
is
me.
the biggest issue.
It's
Yeah,
so horrible. Come on, Gareth Warren. Like, come on, man.
yeah.
But,
we need to pray for health in that position, and we need any able-bodied dude over the age of 30 that's played offensive tackle at a high level.
Yeah.
To come on down to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
2 centers effectively. We need. Yeah, it's a concern.
Yeah. I think it's a B- apart from the O-line, which is the depth is shaky, which pushes me down to a C.
Yeah.
Yeah, agree with that.
Maybe a C+.
We'll see how Andreas Peart does. Okay, 2 more of these categories. 2 more. Let's push ahead.
Yeah.
Draft impact.
In year 1.
Right now. Yeah, the moves they made this offseason. How much of an impactful draft was it?
That's a very difficult one to say without the game time behind it.
It is, because they've not played, obviously.
But I mean, if
feeling?
you're talking camp-wise, if you're looking at the reports out of camp for the rookies, I'm bordering on A. I mean, a lot of these guys are doing really, really well for themselves. I mean, in particular, Jack Sawyer, Y.A. Black, who I've just said has been phenomenal. Derek Harmon has really shown out really, really nicely. Before the injury, I think Dante Kent was doing a mighty fine job as well. You know, a little bit concerned about Carson Bruner. Caleb Johnson is coming on fine. I think he will be okay. Yeah, and obviously Will Howard, who again before the injury was having some really good stuff. And you know, as I say, Rock Taylor. We've heard bits and bobs from Sebastian Castro as well. Even guys like JJ Galbraith seem to be, you know, making some plays here and there. So, I think I'm going to say an A. If in terms of camp impact, what we've seen so far and what these guys are doing for their stock to make it to the 53 overall, I really, really like this group. I think I like it better than last year's group overall so far. Again, just got to wait to see how it translates. But right now, I'm very excited about this group of rookies.
Yeah, I want to temper it slightly. I would say maybe an A-, but I'm more or less with you. I think because I think primarily Derek Harmon and Caleb Johnson are going to be such big contributors in year 1. Just right out the gate, we know it, that they're going to be huge parts of this team going forward. And then obviously, I think Jack Sawyer is going to be a huge contributor. I think Yaya Black's going to be a huge contributor from everything we hear. So to me, I mean, that's what you can expect, right? In year 1, your first 4 or 5 round picks to be. I don't know that you can expect a whole lot more out of what we had. And then obviously, you know, it's tough you're not going to see Carson Bruner on the field, sure. But yeah, what do you think, Gav?
I'm going to temper it a little bit. I think it's a solid B+. I think I agree with what you said, but I don't think there's like a massive impact. It feels like they backfilled a little bit with a good spread of solid players. I think Derek Harmon's exciting, Caleb Johnson's exciting. The other guys we'll see. I don't think but you know, it's partly due to where they draft, you know, the position they're drafting in. There's no real superstars here, but they're just good quality squad players, I think. So it's a B+.
It's early days for them to become superstars, obviously, but like, man, look out for your boy, Y.A. Black, because man, I think he's my camp winner. I genuinely think he might be my camp winner.
I think I'd go with B+. I want to see them absolutely cement the Ravens' run game to itself come the time we play them, because that's a big thing. I think we're going to need all 3 of those contributors to mention. So Harmon and Webb. I think we're going to need Sawyer to be setting the edge if Lamar goes wandering down the sidelines. I really think that's going to be the acid test for this team. But I like what they've done. I like, you know, all of those players I mentioned. I like what they've got with Caleb, and I like with Will Howard. It's a shame he's got this injury now, but I think we could look back on this draft and think, yep, that's a good one. But I also think the strategy for the draft was such that after that Ravens hammering, we really had to sell out a little bit to stop the run. and invest those sort of premium picks in that part of the game. So I'm really keeping an eye on this offensive line and this tackle position, because that, in a way, could prevent us taking a quarterback this coming year. And that's what I'm keeping an eye on throughout the whole season. That Brojo pick, is that going to be right in the grand scheme of things? That's the big question, I think, for this team this year.
Yeah, I agree. All right, last one of these.
I can say you got one more.
Well, last one, and it's maybe slightly skewed because it's not the coaching hasn't changed, but I'm going to go scheme fit, and what I mean by that is how the players that have come in are suited to the Arthur Smith, Mike Tomlin, Terrell Austin scheme. Do we think it's how are we going to grade that? Are they drafted and signed the right players for what they wanted to do, or are we had some square pegs in round holes?
This is tough. This one. I mean, how many friggin' former Arthur Smith guys have we got now?
I don't know if it is tough. I think from a scheme fit perspective, it's A-, because I think they've run out of excuses. They've gone and got the guys that they wanted to get. You've got Jonnu Smith now. You've got that tight end room is pretty much different roles as good as you're going to get it. Mike Tomlin has gone and got himself a load of playmaking defensive players. Darius Slay, Jalen Porter. You've got these kind of players up front as well with the run game. You've got players at the back in terms of the passing game. I think they've run out of excuses. He's gone and got Aaron Rodgers. Yes, he's old, but he's got a Hall of Fame quarterback on a 1-year deal. Go and prove it now. You've built this team sort of with a short-term mentality. You've got DK Metcalf. Right, well, go and use these players and win some games of football. Go and win in January when it's difficult.
It feels like the focus that's what it's been on this year, right? Is getting these guys in that fit what they've been. I would say in previous years they've been trying to fit some of the pre-existing square pegs into round holes, and I think this is the year where it starts to feel a little bit more well-rounded to me. So I'm kind of with Kets. I think like an A- maybe on the scheme fit, if I'm understanding it correctly. What do you think, Gav?
I'm giving a full-blown A. I think this is. Yeah, I think they've leaned into the Arthur Smith thing. Let's run it in this year. Let's see how it goes, and if it doesn't work, blow it up. Like there's no excuses, right? It's like, yeah, let's have loads of tight ends. Let's run the damn ball. Okay, they could have done more on the O-line, but you can't do it all. And let's give Rodgers an alpha dog. I think they've given the offense a chance to succeed based on Arthur Smith's tendencies, and they've drafted in and signed in a load of players onto defense to match the tendencies on defense and try and do a little bit more creatively, hopefully move players around, a little bit more disguise and play press man, aggressive defense. Let's try and win some balls. Let's try and take away passing options. I like this. This is roll the dice, It's like let's not just be mid, try and do all things to all men. This is let's be who we are and let's get the players that we want to do that. So this is an A for me, and I'm excited because it might fail, but at least we know, and then it's change house.
Yes, agreed. I think you've kind of worded it in a way that I couldn't there. That it feels like this is the year we're going to know or we're not, and it just we Arthur Smith's going to be tested because it's just how many because even with Matt Canada going all the way to that experiment for the longest time it felt like we were just making excuses left, right, and center about the offense because we didn't have this guy or this guy was injured, and it does feel like this team is what Tomlin and Arthur Smith want it to be this season, for better or for worse.
What's the quote? If you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly. And they're being a grizzly this year. And if the grizzly dies up in the mountain and is a skeleton, come January, fine, then we can change everything. But let's just do it. Like let's just fucking try it.
Pull one out for the dead grizzly in the mountain.
I'll go A-. I think I still don't really know defensively what we're going to expect here, but like definitely on the offensive side, you can see things falling together, and this really is Arthur Smith's offense. He's definitely got the people that he wants, and I think we're definitely going to see more of that identity this year with more of the people that he wants running it. And obviously, you've got the Aaron Rodgers of it all. We'll see how it works with that as well. Yeah, I just find it tough defensively because I just don't exactly know what we're going to look like. But we've definitely addressed weaknesses on the defense, particularly run game wise. But let's see how it all works out schematically. I won't go full blown A, but yeah, you can definitely see that the right pieces have been brought in, particularly on the offense.
Can I just have a quick grade from each of you on the running back room?
C.
I would say C. Well, I mean, what do we have? Like, we had Najee and Jalen, and then Cordero Patterson, who really was a nothing of nothing and is now no longer on this team, which I don't think we've actually brought up. But
Did we not? Yeah, we spoke about that last week. I'm sure we did.
did we? Oh, maybe we did. Maybe
I'm
we
not
did.
that sure, but
Yeah.
I'm going to say it.
He got as
anyway.
many mentions as his production
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
was worthy for.
exactly. And yeah, I like Kenny Gainwell. I think he brings something. So I'm actually kind of tempted to say C plus because
Exactly what I was
think
thinking.
I think there's a tiny upgrade in having Kenneth Gainwell. I know losing Najee is quite a big thing, but I've still got hope Caleb Johnson can fill that well, and I just think Kenny Gainwell is an upgrade over Cordero enough for me to say that this is a C plus room. It's still led by Jalen Warren. I still love Jalen Warren. Yeah, I'm not expecting him to be a 3-down back, but by the same token, I think if he's healthy, he's going to have a massive impact on this team.
Yeah, my issue is that you're saying with a C, you're just saying it's gone sideways. With a C plus, you're saying it's improved since Najee. And while Najee is the running back that if you need 3 yards, he'll get you 3 yards. If you need 6 yards, he'll get you 3 yards. There's still a durability and a physical factor, and
Yeah.
you're saying
that's what I'm expecting of Caleb Johnson as well. Maybe it's more of an expectation. Yeah, it's the thing. Maybe it's more of an expectation in that sense. But all rookies really is expectation.
Mm.
Just because he's a rookie, I mean, he could be better than Najee, right? We don't know.
I guess running backs is the one position where a rookie can come in and just do his do.
Sure,
exactly.
Yeah,
that's the one position where you've got less expectations apart from pass protection. So
I think there's and
that's the area where Johnson's weaker, right? So if he's missing whiffing blocks and not picking up blitzes and stuff, maybe he doesn't see the field so much, and then you haven't got that pounder on the field on third down. You're relying on Warren. I can see that not quite working out. So it's just a flat C for me. I think it's a sideways move with potential.
There's a little bit of addition by subtraction with Najee. Not overall, I'm not saying that, but just in the sense that I think we'll get Jalen Warren in some situations that in the past Najee was kind of hogging those opportunities, and I think we'll get some addition in that sense. I'm hoping that Caleb Johnson's going to fill 80% of the hole that Najee left, and I like Kenneth Gainwell as an upgrade over the third guy we had in that room. So I'm sticking with C plus. I'm optimistic on the running back room. Just stay healthy, Jalen, please. Touch wood. Oh my god.
I love Jalen Warren.
Yeah, he's back.
Right, that was a nice tidbit.
That was a nice tidbit. That was a great tidbit. I loved it. What did you say, Matt?
I don't think we had Ketz's grade on it, did we?
Oh, did we not?
Yeah, I was really arguing with myself the whole time. I think C is probably the right one because I really don't know, because I really liked what Najee did and obviously the durability and the 1,000 yards a season. But I kind of like what we've done with it as well, as much as I'm sad to see him go out the door. But hey, at least we can have some fun watching Chargers games this year. They've got
a fun room. If he's got 2 functioning eyes, maybe.
Yeah, subject to fireworks.
Hey, Vidal looked all right in the Hall of Fame game. My boy.
Yeah, Kamani Vidal. Yeah, still waiting for his fantasy relevance to come through. Inevitably a year too late for me, no doubt.
Right, already been dropped off our practice squads.
Yeah.
Right, have you got something else to go to, or I've got some more tidbits?
If you got some interesting tidbits, I got, I just wanted to mention that Iron Eagle and JJ Watt been named as the first 2-game announcers for the Steelers. Don't love Iron Eagle, but I'm interested in the new JJ Watt room.
Yeah, at least JJ's in there. Thank God.
Yeah, should be fun. What do you think of JJ commentating on his brother's game? That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be impartial still, but
Oh yeah, sure, but I just mean, it's just interesting.
It is interesting, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the things I look forward to. I start to get excited about the football season, and it's a bizarre thing, but what I get excited about is imagining the blimp shot with a stadium, dark, wide shot, light stadium, and the music and the voice. And Iron Eagle can do that, can't he? He can talk over that blimp shot.
Yeah.
And that's in the off season. That's what I really gets the hairs on the back of my neck. Imagining that, we get deep into the season. You've got fancy problems. The Steelers are doing bad, and it all feels, it feels you get beat down. But right now, I'm really looking forward to these autumn nights of blimp shots and commentators, American voices, the music, the adverts.
Yeah.
Come on, give it to me.
Yeah, I am looking
ready.
forward to it. I'm looking forward to the first waiting all day for Sunday night. I mean, are we actually waiting all day? Probably not. It's crazy, but
well, it's a hell of a long day.
NFL bans smelling salts. Thoughts? We go to Ketz because our resident drug expert.
I had a period. Sorry, I know you went to Ketz.
Hang on.
I was going to say.
We're going to Gav, apparently.
I had a period of using smelling salts during Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, because, it brings you back, right? And
really?
I had a serious problem. I now have resigned to the fact that I cannot stay awake.
Just a sleepy boy.
I fall asleep. You've witnessed it in the draft, right?
Oh, yeah.
I just drift off, and now I've come to terms with the fact that I'm a next day guy.
Can I just paint the picture for the listener, because the listener knows that I'm usually staying up late doing all these various things, watching these Sunday Night Football games and whatnot. During the draft, Gav was there in his little armchair. He had his little Scrooge nightcap on with a little candle in his hand that was burnt halfway down, a white candle in the wick, and he's just sat there and he just slowly, about the fifth round, just slowly closes his eyes and drifts away. And that was the end. And then Gav has to catch up with the rest of it the next day because he's a very sleepy
Didn't I wake
boy.
up at like the seventh round or something? What's happening? And you were all laughing at me.
He did wake up. Yeah, he did wake up at some point, actually. Willie Marshall had stirred late in the night.
But yeah, at one point I had a pot of smelling salts that if I was feeling a bit drowsy, I'd get the smelling salts out. But actually, really unpleasant. Actually, it's not. It brings you back to the fore. Maybe if you're really drunk, it's quite useful to have smelling salts. But yeah, I've had multiple concussions in my life as well. Maybe for the best, I don't use them anymore. So maybe for the best, these players don't use them either. If it's increasing CTE,
could I put some douse this story with water if I may?
No, because I was asked the question originally, and I haven't been
you
able to answer it yet.
want to douse it with water. But I have the official statement about it. But if you want
Silence on the official statement. First, we're going to get Ketz's statement. Ketz?
I was about to launch into that when Gavin rudely interrupted me. Anyway.
Sorry, Ketz. Sorry, I apologise.
Yes, the National Football League have not banned smelling salts. They have banned teams supplying players with smelling salts. If the players want to self-supply, then they are able to do so.
Wait, really? So why is George Kittle on my TV getting us upset?
Because he didn't understand the thing. So, yeah, he's just been...
He likes the 49ers free smelling salts. Doesn't want to have to pay.
The NFL Players Association
not banned.
Is aware of the memo issued by the league Tuesday regarding the use of smelling salts and ammonia capsules. We were not notified of this club policy change before the memo was sent out. To clarify, this policy does not prohibit player use of these substances, but rather it restricts clubs from providing or supplying them in any form. The NFL has confirmed this to us. Blah, 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 blah. There you go. Okay. George Kittle was overreacting.
Who here has used smelling salts? Ketz, have you used them?
I've never used smelling salts.
I've never used them.
Nope, never used them.
I'm the only smelling salts user here. Interesting.
Yeah. Just
I've huffed like what do you call it? The balloon
poppers?
Stuff. No, not poppers.
Oh, Noz.
Good Lord.
We're on dangerous ground here, gentlemen.
Do you remember the bath salts thing? Do you remember the bath salts thing from years ago where people were turning into zombies?
No.
You don't remember this? How do people not remember this? There's a guy who took a ton of bath salts. I think he was in Miami, and he started eating a guy on the highway, and then police were shooting him, and he was still going.
Did the guy have a problem? Or was he
the problem was he had so many bath salts.
No, the guy who was being
eaten, he was dead. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Is it better to be eaten by somebody that's very hygienic?
I don't think he was using the bath salts as well. I think he's just ingested
I like
them.
the idea that he's in the bath, feet up. He's got a magazine.
Accidentally ingests some, becomes a...
It's like Bed Bath & Beyond scene. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, the Miami cannibal attack. Yeah, 2012.
The Miami cannibal attack.
Okay, there's some homework for everybody.
Jesus Christ! During the can I just read this because this is insane. During the
His name was
18-minute
Ronald Popo.
yes, Ronald Popper. No, he was the man who was killed, the homeless man who was killed.
He ate Ronald Popo.
During the 18-minute filmed
Popo in a
encounter,
big spot.
Eugene accused Popo of stealing his Bible, beat him unconscious, removed his pants, and bit off most of Popo's face.
So he
Jesus.
removed the pants, then bit off the face.
Yeah, so he removed his own pants, I think, and
He
then,
removed his own pants.
That's how I'm reading it. Yeah,
I thought
And
he'd
then-
removed Popo's pants.
yeah, they shot him, but apparently he was still going for a little bit.
Kets, can we set you like a wild dog to clarify the position of Popo's pants when his face was eaten off?
I mean, looking at Popo, it's not the most tasty face. There's a lot of beard
can you
there.
see
I'm
Popo?
not sure I'd want. Yeah, if you
Ronald
Wikipedia Ronald Popo,
Bath salts, man.
You have to
Like,
Have we got
cut through
a?
some beard there, and I mean, it looks a bit leathery. It looks like kind of well
Hold
overdone
on a minute.
steak.
This guy didn't die?
oh yeah, of course, yeah, he didn't die. Yeah, no, sorry,
Oh
yeah, he
my
didn't.
god, the guy's face got eaten. He wasn't dead.
Yes, yeah, Apollo. Yeah, he did. He did.
This
not
has
die.
gone off the deep end. Popo's still with us.
Yeah, the Causeway
Wow.
Cannibal. Yeah, that was it. Yeah,
Have you seen Popo faceless? Faceless Popo?
I don't want to say that.
Oh, that's
I
tough.
haven't
Maybe
seen
I saw it at the
Do I
time. I
wanna-
can't
do I
remember.
wanna see it?
That's a rough image, man.
But then they literally made a film called Bath Salt Zombies the year after.
Hang on. So his
man.
family had not
Oh my
heard from him
God.
in 40 years, and they assumed he was dead. And because of this incident, they actually found he was alive.
Wait, so
and
Popo...
he's since learned to play the
God.
guitar.
Oh, that is a Ket's pull and a half. That is. That's magnificent.
So Popo can play the guitar.
Yeah.
Popo A minor.
What's he playing?
I'm
Small
not sure
Faces?
Popo recognizes the face he sees in the mirror now. Jesus Christ!
Wait, I'm looking at a new picture of Popo's face, and he looks about 40 years younger than the old picture of Popo's face.
He looks like a scary Michael Jackson.
I think I
The
could be
picture
looking
I'm
at the
looking at.
wrong new Popo. I don't know who this new Popo is. No, different guy. This isn't Popo.
Man,
Right,
I
we're
remember.
getting
Yeah,
distracted.
I was gonna say I remember when it all happened, and I was like, "Oh my god, is this going to be a thing?" Like, it's wild.
People eating each other's faces on the street. Okay.
Yeah. So as long as NFL players don't start doing that, then
Yeah. Let's
Yeah,
not have any
let's not do that.
Popo
And
situations
smelling salts don't contribute to that, so
on
it's
the
fine.
field.
Yeah.
Yep.
Another
Just-
little tidbit.
Tidbit.
Do we want to think about how well Omar and Wydell and everyone's done? Do we want to think about before the draft to now, how the odds have changed? So I did a little bit of research. Before the draft, Steelers were 51-1 to win the Super Bowl, which is an implied probability of 1.96%, 1.96% of winning the Super Bowl. After the draft, no quarterback, but Derek Harmon and friends, odds go up to down to 46-1, which is a 2.17% chance of winning the Super Bowl. Then the Aaron Rodgers news, they go to 41-1, which is a 2.44% chance of winning the Super Bowl. And then we get Jalen Ramsey, and the final moves, they go to 36-1, which is a 2.78% chance of winning the Super Bowl. So they've gone up nearly a whole percentage point. Now, is that enough of a difference? A
where
whole
are
percentage
we
point.
in terms of everybody else then? Like, how many teams are above us currently in those odds?
Well, contextually,
Mhm.
the Ravens and the Bills are clear favourites for. I've got them. I didn't do the decimal odds here, so I can't compare. They're plus 700. I think the Steelers are well over 1,000, minus 1,000. So Ravens are plus 700. Hang on, I can do some sums here. Plus 700. What is plus 700 in decimal? Plus 700 in decimal odds. Bear with me.
I'll begin to believe
research.
if we win games of football after Thanksgiving, because that's when similar to last year, that's when the schedule gets really tough.
It's tough. Yeah, it's not as tough, but it does get tough. Yeah, there are some juicy games in there. Yeah, that Bills Ravens back to back, and then after the Dolphins, you got the Lions. That's a rough one.
So 8-1. Plus 700 is 8-1. So it's quite a big difference from the Ravens.
Yeah. Well, I think we know they're the clear guys. I was just didn't know if we were ahead of some of these kind of teams that we kind of put ourselves in the same bracket as. People like the Vikings and potentially like the. I think we're probably better than the Seahawks at this point, but yeah, those kind of the Chargers maybe. Like, are we in those sort of same bracket? But
Chargers. Let me see those. Hang on.
yeah.
Yeah, because they were the team we said they need to beat, right?
They were kind of the team that
closest
we were not sure
rival.
where we were going to put them ranked in the AFC as well. I think they're kind of one of those teams that's there or thereabouts with us.
Chargers are sitting at 29-1, so they actually, the odds are they're more fancied, about half. If the Steelers are 36, Chargers are 29, depending who you go with. The worst odds I've got here is 31. So, Chargers are a little bit ahead. But that's probably divisional, isn't it, I think?
Mm-hmm. Potentially, yeah. Well,
Or conference.
Yeah, they got the Chiefs. And, yeah.
I feel like Steelers are a bandwagon team this year. If we start winning, everybody's going to be wanting to jump on.
I feel like the media's already trying to. Like, I've never seen this much. It's been a while, at least, since I've seen this much media hype about a Steelers team. It's mad.
Even when we were 10-0.
It's noticeable.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody wanted to touch us in 2020, even when we had the massive streak.
Oh, I did write it here. So I've got odds have improved by nearly 45% over the off-season, but they're still behind Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, who are at 6-1, 7-1, 7.5-1.
Yeah, that's
So
understandable.
36-1.
Yeah, but still,
but do we think it's a success?
It's in those metrics, it's definitely a success because we're going the right way, and I think it's justified as well. Is it enough? Is a very different question, and I don't ultimately think it is at this point, but it's definitely a step or two in the right direction. So, yeah,
I feel like we've turned a nothing season into a something season.
We absolutely have. Yeah.
Right, and so that's the point of this. Really, it's the job that the front office has done. I think has been net positive. No,
yeah,
I would say so.
I agree with that.
I agree. Yeah.
So good job, Omar. Omar is cooking, and they've got all the draft picks, and they're in a position to push on next year. So
next year,
yeah.
All right, cool. I didn't really have anything else particularly interesting, so I don't know. Did you want to, Mac, Kets? I know you've got your summer scouting.
Yeah, shall we
dive
into it, Kets?
Let's give it a go.
Let's go for it. Do you have a little jingle?
We don't, sadly. We should have.
Summer scouting with Mac and Kets.
Something I think we should probably do moving forward if we're going into a sort of new era of the podcast is more jingles. I think we've got more corners. Yeah, maybe having a specific draft theme tune as well or something like that for when draft season comes around.
Yeah, we could sprinkle in the old, the draft tune.
Yeah.
We maybe need one for the new Cannibal Corner, which we seem to have invented.
Yeah. Popo Place.
Cannibal Corner. I'm sure I've seen them live. Right.
Cannibal
so,
let's go with Popo.
Yeah.
Right.
So, good Lord. As listeners will know from a couple of weeks ago, myself and Kets took it upon ourselves to start some summer scouting in order to have a look at some of these QBs that are currently projected to be going quite high in next year's draft in anticipation for the Steelers potentially taking a first-round quarterback in next year's draft in our home draft of Pittsburgh. 2 weeks ago, we looked at Cade Klubnik, and since we've had a couple of weeks since that, we've had our eye over a couple of different quarterbacks to bring you for this episode. I will say just before we start talking about these are two quarterbacks that are both highlighted in the fantastic new SEC documentary on Netflix, Any Given Saturday. I have not finished it yet, but what I have watched, I think I'm 5 or 6 episodes through now. It has been a brilliant watch. I think it's been an absolutely fascinating look at the SEC.
What's the angle? Are they like following teams? Or?
Yeah, so it's a weird one because they're following teams. They haven't got to like the big hitter. I mean, they've looked at LSU and they've looked at South
Gators.
Carolina, the Gators. Yeah, they looked at Florida. they kind of moved off Florida quite quickly, but I don't know if that's because they were kind of looking at Graham Mertz and then he got injured. But yeah, we've seen a bit of DJ Lagway in that. And I think there's a few episodes, so I think there's probably going to be more because they haven't even touched on Mississippi State yet, but that's the next episode that I'm going to watch. And they touch on them. But they look at like Vanderbilt as well. It's really spread out, and it's a really, really interesting look. And yeah, two of the teams that have been kind of highlighted so far are LSU and South Carolina, which are the two teams of the quarterbacks that we're going to look at today. But I would highly recommend watching that documentary. I know, Ketz, you've been watching it as well. It has been a great watch, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'm just a couple of episodes in, but yeah, it's a really great addition to the football fan kind of library of different things we've got to look at, and I think it gives us a really good insight on some of these college football teams, and a bit of it's kind of like a little bit hard knocksy, but it just gives you a bit of like what it's like on game day, what it's like in terms of the preparation that they do, and just some insights on some of the real sort of characters rather than just the people on screen throwing balls around. It gives you an insight on them as a person, and it's really good to see, how the sort of coaching is slightly different to the NFL, and the professionalism, I'd say, is really impressive with most of the teams. They seem to be, treating it really professionally, perhaps more so than some of the NFL teams, to be fair. But yeah, it's a really fascinating insight. It's definitely well worth a watch. Like I say, I'm only a couple of episodes in, but I'm already like, right, I need this again this season, and the season after I need it every year, because it's really good. And they show some good storylines as well, so they make it quite interesting. It's filmed in quite an interesting way.
Yeah, and this particular conference as well. I mean, obviously the SEC is massive, and probably the biggest conference out there. So it has just been a really, really good watch. But as I say, the two quarterbacks that we're going to be looking at today, Ketz, I kind of led with Cade Klubnik last time we did this, so I'll let you kind of choose. Yeah, you can kick us off with this one, but I'll kind of let you choose which quarterback you want to go to out of these two. Who do you want to start with?
I will start with the one of the two that I'm slightly more unsure about, and that is Garrett Nussmeier from LSU. I've got him as 6'1", 205. And if you've got different measurables, Mark.
6'2", 200 myself.
Okay,
but it's definitely
he's in that kind of range, isn't he?
In that ballpark. Yeah.
Was this one of the guys last week that you had flagged as potential size concerns?
Yeah,
as one of his red flags?
If I had Klubnik as a size concern, which I've kind of not completely gone back on, but I'm less concerned about it now. I've kind of had some time to look at it. But this is more of a concern in that sense.
And that is because he's more of your kind of pocket type passer, albeit he's got some off script ability, but he's more of a kind of pocket passer, quick release. He was quite high up on some boards initially. He was kind of QB2, QB3. Having watched some tape, I'm not sure if I will be as high on him ultimately as this progresses. He seems to have been available in and around the assumed 16th to 20th kind of Steelers-y type pick area. So this is a guy I think maybe we need to keep a close eye on during the season. He's quite patient in the pocket. I think I ended up watching 3 games of his. So I don't know if I've necessarily written, I think it was the Texas A&M tape that I started with. So quite patient in the pocket, adjusting footwork, good awareness of pressure, even when cornerbacks are blitzing. Can throw it away successfully. Seems to scan his reads systematically, although he can stare down the target at times. He's very comfortable with these kind of sidearm kind of throws for tight gaps and kind of forcing the ball into a kind of a quick throw area, even when under pressure or expecting a hit. Can throw on the move. There was up to a 35-yard air throw against Texas A&M. Quite comfortable with play action. He has quite a floaty high pass. His deep ball accuracy is reasonable, but the spiral on the ball isn't that tight. I think he's 64% of passes, so he's kind of maybe just slightly short of what you'd want to see across 525 attempts. 4,000 yards, 29 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. So I think he's slightly short of that threshold, as I say. And within his cohort of these top kind of FBS quarterbacks, he was the only one under 65% in 2024. His passer rating was 142.5. So I think the passer rating kind of suggests that he's got good efficiency, even with lower completion percentages. The trick to making him struggle is blitzing him, though. I think Texas A&M were blitzing him quite heavily. He was 25 for 50 in terms of his passing. Did get 400 yards, but it was 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. The interceptions, the first one, he was on the run and being pursued on, I think it was 3rd and 2. Looks upfield, tries to find an outlet, but the corner was always in front of the receiver, so it was quite a risky play, and that was intercepted. The second pick of the game, the corner undercut the 2 receivers on a flat route. And the third pick of the game was a good play by the linebacker, just being kind of sneakily in the right area. But really high pressure all game by Texas A&M. They were rushing 4 and beating the LSU linemen like they weren't there. So I thought, okay, that's one game that I've watched. Maybe let's watch another couple. So I watched the Alabama tape. This is where my concerns started to kind of, okay, well, those things I've seen in that first game, I'm starting to see them again and again. Missed end zone throws, lots of short completions, lots of kind of lofted loose throws. There's lots of kind of turnover-worthy plays. There was some plays where it could have very easily been an interception if it weren't for actually a heavy hit by the wide receiver trying to stop the defender getting the ball. There's fumbles in there. The center was really shocking, to be fair, so you've kind of got to give him a bit of a pinch of salt for that. But yeah, lots of pitches. It was very like Matt Canada-esque type offense. It's just sideways and ineffective. There was running into sacks at times. There was a late touchdown, which was good, which shows he doesn't kind of give up when the game was over many, many minutes earlier. But he just didn't really show up at all against Alabama. So I thought, okay, that's another bad one. Let's watch Ole Miss. Lots of high passes, short screen passes again. Takes too many risks. He's one of these players where if you give him time and he has time to read the field, he can slice your defense in half. But it's frustrating. I think he's going to be a boom or bust quarterback. I think he does some good adjustments and footwork in the pocket. I think sometimes his pass-run option decisions are a bit poor. There's times where he's passing the ball to the running back and they're getting clouted within about a second of having the ball. I don't think he is that much of an elusive runner. I think he's okay when he gets up to speed, but he's not as good as the other guy we're going to talk about in a few minutes. And I think some of his passes get tipped at the line of scrimmage due to a low throw arc. There was lots of bombs into the end zone against Ole Miss, but none of them got converted, so I'm not convinced by his accuracy. I kind of think he's one of these players, if Miami draft him and he's got an air raid offense in front of him, I think he will have a chance. But if the Steelers were to take him, I genuinely think he could be a bust. Mark, what did you think?
I'm pretty much there with you, I think. I think it's important to note as well, he's a 23-year-old senior. He'll be 24 come, his first NFL season. I have to say, including the bowl game, he threw for over 4,000 yards in 2024, which is the most by far of any of these QBs, the top-rated QBs for next year's draft, which is really good to see. As you said, very nice in the pocket. I think he does some fantastic work in the pocket when he's got time to kind of, process and whatnot. My biggest thing with Nussmeier, the thing that irritated me the most out of it, is how much he got stuck on his first read. Like, you do not see his head move enough. Like, he is constantly getting on that first read. And I think that kind of plays into the fact he had 12 picks in 2024 because he's just trying to slot the ball in there where he can't do it. Sometimes it works out great for him, and I think there's some really nice anticipatory throws in there. I think his mechanics are really solid. His dad's a coach, and I think you can see that from him. I think he's been well coached outside of doing outside of LSU as well. But man, just constantly stuck on those first reads and deals with pressure well. I mean, over 1,000 pressures, but only 15 sacks. I think I have something down here. It's something insane like that. 7 of them were against Florida, though. I mean, that was a bit of a nightmare game for him. He was constantly under duress there. 18 turnover-worthy plays in 2024, which is amongst the worst you saw in there. The kind of key thing I had, so he doesn't run the ball at all, really. Like, there's barely any running numbers on him. And, he's a 200-odd pound quarterback. Why not try and put the meat on then? If you're this fantastic pocket passer, why not try and put a little bit of meat on you so that if you're not a guy who's scrambling a lot, obviously you need to, work out of the pocket at times and, make throws on the move, but why not add a little bit of mass if you're not going to be a guy who's going to be scrambling? And, people say Nussmeier does have good speed on him, but, I don't think we've seen it, definitely not as much as a couple of the other guys that we're going to talk about. But yeah, I mean, in the pocket, he's fantastic, and I'll get onto Tom's notes in a minute about him, which are kind of very different to. I wouldn't say very different to what we're saying, but I think he's got a different perspective on it. But yeah, boom or bust, I think, is definitely the key thing here. I'm very interested to see how he comes back. He's a good character on the SEC documentary. I think he's a fine young man. He had a very big decision to make. He could have come out last year and he decided to go back to school for one more year at LSU. I think ultimately that might be the right decision. Need to see a lot more improvement in terms of these reads and not his decision making, and just see kind of how he ends up in terms of his physique by the end of it as well, and see if there's any kind of the Rashawn Slater news has just come through. I think he's torn patella tendon. Oh Jesus, that could be season ending.
Really, Rashawn
Yeah.
Slater?
Yeah.
Oh jeez,
Big news.
Yeah, goddamn. Sorry. Yeah, I think there's a lot that Nussmeier needs to work on here, and LSU are potentially going to be a contender next year, so really need to see him step up into that role. I've really not got much in terms of issues about his leadership. I think people do respect him in that LSU locker room. I think there's a lot of good things to be said about him. There are people who are going to have very good things to say about him overall, and that kind of leads me on to Tom's notes about Nussmeier. This is what he's said here. The positives that he's got: arm talent is awesome and has massive confidence in himself. Good pocket passer who just makes big plays, shows talent passing on the move. Really impressive year with over 4,000 passing yards, as I said. His negatives: can get locked into a read too much. Yes, God, do I ever agree with that. Can lead to interceptions because he tries to force it. Yeah. Only had 1 year of college experience, which is another thing, actually. Yeah, obviously he was sat behind Jaden Daniels for a while. So even though he's a senior, going to be 24 next year, he's not had a litany of experience. He's more experienced than the guy we're going to talk about in a bit, but hasn't had the most experience in the world, and is a little undersized. But Tom says, I really like him, and as long as he continues to improve this season, should be a top 3 QB in this draft. And like with all 1 year starters, he needs to prove he can be consistent. So yeah, it's kind of, I feel like Nussmeier's a kind of almost Marmite sort of prospect in a way, and I think he's going to be a guy that you really are going to keep a keen eye on this season to see if he steps up his game. I kind of agree with you that I'm a bit worried about if he was a Steelers QB, would we get the very best out of him? It's difficult to say. I think I don't know if I would. Again, we're going to talk about a guy in a bit that I don't want to spoil it too much, but I don't know about Nussmeier ultimately. I'm keen to see how he progresses this year because, as I say, I think he's a fine leader and an excellent guy in the pocket, but let's see what else he can bring to it and if he can kind of get over these humps that he has.
As it stands today, if it was Nussmeier or Will Howard, give me Will Howard every time. I just think he's more of a sure thing at this stage. But let's see what Nussmeier does this year. It'd be an interesting watch. I think he's very, very divisive potentially, so it'd be interesting when the rest of the guys get to watch these QBs.
I think a few of these guys, to be fair, might be divisive in a way. I think there's a lot of different opinions on who exactly is QB1, and especially if Arch Manning is, as it seems to have come out today, is going to return to Texas for 2026. If he's not the guy in there, then who is going to be the guy that is going to be the number one in this in this draft class. I think there's a lot of differing opinions at this point, but it is, it's summer scouting at the end of the day. Summer scouting, baby.
Yeah.
Who knows?
There's always a guy that comes out of nowhere.
Exactly. Yeah. Jaden Daniels was a bit of a
we're
guy
not
that came out of nowhere, sort of, and I don't think we were really kind of had too much eyes on Cam Ward. Wasn't it supposed to be Shador? I don't know, but it's yeah. So yeah, there'll probably be someone there, but yeah, it could still well be Nussmeier. He's just, I think he's got more that he needs to sort than Klubnik does personally, and that's why I've got Klubnik still rated higher than Nussmeier.
Yeah, I have.
But yeah, time will tell with him. Let's see how he does in this team that is supposed to be a contender.
It's interesting though, because with his style of being a pocket passer, if he's 6'1", 6'2", that's kind of not the prototypical size for the style of quarterback that he is. You want that guy to be like 6'5", 240, you know what I mean? So,
but he does really well with it though. Like, yeah, you cannot fault the pocket passing really, like other than his bloody reads. But like, yeah, other than that, like
that's true. But you've got to project him behind an NFL O-line.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's the thing. Interesting, but no.
At 23, he's not growing anymore, like height-wise. So
no, he don't. Interesting. Right, tell us about this other guy. I'm intrigued.
Oh man, am I glad that you went with Nussmeier then? So, Lenoris Sellers out of the South Carolina Gamecocks, redshirt.
And this is a guy I've seen linked to the Steelers a little bit.
Yes,
hello.
Redshirt sophomore. 20 years of age, 6'3", 240. I've got him as. I don't know if you've got anything wildly different.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got that. Okay. Okay, Lenoris Sellers, man. I think Tom has put this possibly the best here. Lenoris Sellers might be like the biggest boom or bust sort of guy out here, but holy God, am I a big fan of this guy. Let's give a little bit of background. He's a South Carolina kid, first and foremost. He chose to stay home and play for the Gamecocks. Blossomed from an under-the-radar prospect into one of college football's most electric dual-threat quarterbacks. A dual threat is absolutely what I would say he is. I think he is fitting that mold really, really well. Redshirted, as I said, got the starting job in spring practice, never looked back. He had a 9-3 record with South Carolina. I mean, the first thing I saw of this guy, so the first game I saw was the Clemson tape. And it seems a lot of people have analysed the Clemson tape. It seems to be a fun one to do. His first play, his second down, is his first kind of, there's a run play before that, but then his first kind of notable play. How he doesn't get sacked is absolutely insane to me. It's complete pressure. And I mean, the South Carolina O-line, God knows what it was doing. And I think this is another frequent thing. I think this is another guy that's behind a bit of an iffy O-line, to say the least. But, I mean, I just do not understand. I mean, I'm going to put it in the group chat for you guys because I did actually take a picture of it. I just don't understand how not only that he wasn't sacked, but it was a 50-yard run from him afterwards. Like, the pressure on him was absolutely insane. He's managed to sneak out of it and get a 50-yard gain and make, guys that are going to be NFL players miss easily. Absolutely amazing start to watching the tape on here. And then, yeah, as I say, he's just a great dual threat. He can work the ball nicely in the pocket. He can evade sacks, as I've just said.
That's the thing. That's the thing, isn't it? It's the pocket. It's not just a rushing quarterback. It's the pocket movement.
Exactly.
That's exciting.
Exactly. And that's 100% what you need out of a proper dual threat QB. If you've got that pocket presence about you as well, it's not perfect, and I'll come on to that, but like it's really nice what he can do out of the pocket. Incredible speed for a 240-pound quarterback. This guy runs superbly. It's an absolute dream to watch, and he has a 75-yard touchdown in rushing touchdown in this game against Clemson as well. Just unbelievable.
He's definitely one to watch, I think, this season. It's a hard evaluation, I think, and we'll see how it goes this year and how he goes. But what you saw at the moment, where would you say he's on the spectrum between Cam Newton to Justin Fields to Lamar Jackson?
I think his ceiling is Lamar Jackson, man. Like, I genuinely believe that his ceiling could be that of a Lamar Jackson.
Does he run with a bit more power than Jackson?
Potentially so. Yeah,
He's not as like lithe, is he? He's a bit more built. He
is. Yeah. He is a little bit heavier. He's got a little bit more of a frame on him. I think he doesn't quite run like a Justin Fields, but I think there's definitely a Lamar element to his game, and particularly recent Lamar as well. And I think you just go back to the arm as well. I mean, he previously did break his arm as well in high school, but doesn't stop the fact that he's got a really great cannon on him. I think probably one of the knocks is maybe he's got too much of a cannon on him and could possibly work on a bit better touch play. But like joint highest yards per average amongst the top quarterbacks that we're looking at in this draft class as it stands, with the least amount of yards thrown. So he's throwing considerably less yards than everybody else, 2,500 odd. But that's probably because he's rushing the ball a ton as well. Highest adjusted completion percentage on passes over 20 yards as well out of those 7. His IQ is fantastic. Like, his ability to bait every part of the defense, I could see, is excellent at times. Like, he's baiting the front 7 to, he's doing incredible stuff in terms of being able to bait them into thinking that he's going to throw it and then he's rushing away, or the other way around, and then he's baiting safeties to look elsewhere, and he's really good in that aspect as well. Short area explosiveness, like it's just out of the wazoo. Now, what are the issues here? So he is a ball of fire that can work against him. His decision making at times is somewhat bad, and that needs to be cleaned up. He needs to calm the game down himself, I think. Yeah, he's an absolute thunderbolt, but sometimes that can work against him. Bad O-line doesn't help, of course. He's limited. There is a chance that he could go back to school. He really does only have that one season behind him. If he has a great second season, then yeah, absolutely can see him coming through. I think it's a bit more, it's not quite Arch Manning levels of inexperience, but at the same time, if it's not the best year in the world and he still feels like, he'll be 21, like, I think he could potentially go back, but I think if he has a cracking year, I think he could very well come out in this draft. The two of the key things: 10 fumbles in 2024. Ball security is an issue, and again is a thing that needs cleaning up. And if that's not cleaned up, that might be where the bust element could potentially come out a little bit. Like, he really, really needs to clean that up. And it was on some big time plays as well.
Do you think that's because he's just rushing so much, and actually in the NFL, I mean, you see the pocket
not all of them are
right?
rushing as well. Like, there are some pocket fumbles as well, where he's taking sacks, but he's not holding on. Yeah, there are a couple of those in there, so it's not all rushing issues. So yeah, definitely, and 8 penalties as well in 2024, which was nearly the highest of these QBs in there. So he needs to clean those up. I think at times this might be a little bit nitpicky. I think he can jump the gun on scrambling. Maybe, again, might be a product of his line, but he's so good in the pocket. Like, I think he doesn't need to. It's not quite Kenny Pickett levels of bailing, but he needs to.
He doesn't seem like a bailer to me.
No, but he does occasionally. Again, this might be very nitpicky, but I felt like there were times where he didn't need to do it. There's plays that he's kind of left open as well. South Carolina.
He keeps his eyes downfield though, doesn't he? When he's moving around in the pocket, he's still looking for the pass. He's not. He's not a guy that's like he just closes off and it's all about the rushing. He's still looking downfield.
Exactly. Yeah. The South Carolina like to run sail quite a lot. Sail concepts, and he's. It's a weird one. It does work a lot of the time, but I think. Again, I think it kind of comes down to some of the decision-making that he does have, the decision-making issues he does have. Maybe at times he could be a touch quicker at deciding what exactly he's going to do, and help his receivers out a little bit. Although I don't think, again, I think Ket's kind of brought this up when we were talking about it. I don't think his receivers help him at times. He had a couple of nice receivers. Sorry, had a couple of receivers that did nice things for him at times, but again, probably could have helped out a little bit. And obviously had Rocket Sanders. So this is another thing. Like, he had Rocket Sanders, who has just come out in this last draft, with him, who was a bit of an explosive back. And a lot of people are saying that this could be, one of the biggest tests for him is having a back that isn't as explosive and kind of managing that workload as well. So that will be interesting to see what he's like with another RB there. But man, overall, with Lenoris Sellers, I want to go into the boom side of it more than I do the bust. I understand completely. And yeah, as I say, Tom has kind of opened with that, saying, boom, this is the biggest boom or bust guy that there is. I'll kind of go with, I'll just read you out what Tom said. Sellers at the minute is the ultimate boom or bust. He is so exciting to watch, big athletic frame, dual threat ability, and also a bit of Big Ben in the pocket when he comes to shrugging defenders off. He can,
I was going to say that. He's got a bit of that. He's escapability, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
Just doesn't seem to go down on first contact, for sure.
He can make some awesome plays, and you can see the hype in the lad. His O-line wasn't great last year, and so he didn't have a lot of time in the pocket, but he showed good vision when he had the time. So why the bust? He gets stuck on his first read, which then makes him make stupid mistakes. His accuracy can be all over the place. I wasn't as concerned with the accuracy myself at times, although there were, again, I think it might be down to some of the receiver work there, but it looked erratic at times. He needs a lot more consistency in his game to make it in the NFL. He needs further development, and I fully agree with this last bit, you can see the tools that could make him a very good NFL QB. I think this guy is tooled up. He just needs to work on making it consistent, as Tom says there, and I think he could very easily be the first quarterback off the board next year. Might be a concern for us then that we don't get that we might not be able to get him, but I would be, if he's the player that he could be, I would be banging the table for him. Like, I love the ceiling of Lenoris Sellers, and he's currently my number one ranked QB out of these three that we've looked at so far. I am so high on this guy.
100% agree. I'm equally as high based on what I've seen. His explosiveness, so he follows a guard or follows a block in front of him. His 10 to 20 yard explosiveness is ridiculous. That alone could get him something at the NFL level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100% agree. He needs to tighten up ball security. He was the most fumbled player in college ball in 2024. I think he's losing the ball in key situations near the red zone or when he's trying to extend plays. I think he's trying to extend plays, evade sacks, make extra yards, and I think that makes him vulnerable. And I think this problem he's got is he's putting the whole team on his back and he's trying to drag it with him. He single-handedly won the game against Clemson. In my opinion, he had 16 carries in terms of his rush production. 16 carries, 164 yards, 10.4 yards average, 2 touchdowns, including a clutch 20-yard game-winning scramble on 3rd and 16, with about a minute left in the fourth quarter. The commentators were using phrases like, he's a cheat code, it's not fair. I think the interception that he threw in that game, it was 2nd and 22. He put the ball over the linebacker, and it was in a perfect area where the receiver could have got to it, but the receiver just stood there. The safety came from behind the receiver and took the ball away. But I think if the receiver had been a bit more proactive and kind of realised what was happening, I don't think that would have been an interception, 8 times out of 10. And the fact he did that against Clemson were heavily blitzing and putting pressure on the whole team, the whole game. And as Mark said, the O-line play in front of him wasn't that good. I think he can maybe throw the ball away a little bit more sometimes.
That was another note.
Create everything himself. It's kind of a bit hard to be like, oh, you need to do everything and be perfect and know when to throw the ball away, because he's always trying to create something.
Yeah, that was very Caleb Williams college tape for me. That in that, he's always looking for the big play when he doesn't necessarily need to.
Yeah, so like you say, just take the thunder out the thunderbolt a little bit, just calm him down a little bit. But I think it's because he's young. He's only going to be a junior this season. Is that right? Last year was his sophomore year.
Yeah, so he's technically a redshirt sophomore, but yeah, it's a junior year. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, this is a power rusher with the elusiveness of a much smaller guy. He's got elite burst for a guy his size. That 75-yard rushing touchdown against LSU was ridiculous. He's good at passing as well. 2,534 yards, 18 touchdowns compared to 7 interceptions, especially when he's trying to force it a little bit as well. That kind of needs to be taken into account, with 7 rushing touchdowns as well. He had a career-high 353 passing yards and 5 touchdowns in a win against Mizzou, which shows he can do the passing game side of it. Yeah, I absolutely love this guy. If I was rating him now, it'd be kind of plus 1.5. I'd be fighting myself to not plus 2 him at this stage. I know we're not doing ratings now, but just to give you some idea of this guy, he injured his ankle, he sprained it against LSU, and you could visibly see the whole stadium's energy dropped instantly.
Yes, that was part of the documentary, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and the game was lost on a last-minute field goal after the backup QB was trying to keep him in the game. So this guy, every chance I get this season to watch South Carolina football, I'm going to be doing it because he's really exciting.
Same. Big same on that. Imagine if this guy can be what we think he can be. Imagine having our own Lamar Jackson. Imagine having our own Jaden Daniels. Like,
yeah,
that
100%
just
agree
is
on that ceiling.
that is so appetizing to me. And like, oh man, yeah, the ceiling is unreal for this guy. I do agree that the floor could be fairly low as well if some of the kind of weak points get worse. But a lot, somebody said it on YouTube, like the vast majority of the issues that he has are coachable. So,
and I wonder
if
you took him out of South Carolina and put him straight in that Senior Bowl roster when he's got different quality players around him, how does he play then? I know it's weird because you can't really count that as a game because it's players or coaches and commentators on the sideline calling plays. But if you put that sort of level of roster around him, how much different would he play? If you almost want him to kind of transfer portal to one of the other teams with an elite wide receiver core and just watch him absolutely rip it up just for pure interest perspective, you know what I mean? But
yeah, but imagine putting this boy on Ohio State. Like, it'd just be him and Jeremiah Smith, man. That would just be unreal.
Give him the Heisman now.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, or even just like SEC, sticking, going to Bama or something. Oh my days.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say, gentlemen, that Mark and I are quite excited about this young man.
Yes, 100%.
I'm glad there's excitement for this class. To be honest,
here's an interesting thing there, because here's another Tom nugget that he said just after he gave me his Nussmeier thing. Tom says, overall, at the minute, I'm not blown away by any of the QB prospects, that they are going to be next level superstars. He likes the traits of different players, but he still feels they have a lot to learn. So he's dampening it a little bit in that respect, which I think is fair at this point, for sure. I don't think there's a generational guy coming. There's not a Trevor Lawrence or even like a Caleb Williams in this thing. And if Arch Manning isn't coming out, exactly, based on early things.
Do you mean an Andrew Luck or
Joe Burrow?
I get the point.
Joe Burrow was the clear guy,
well,
wasn't he?
But Joe Burrow, this is what I was going to say to you. Joe Burrow, this time in his career, a year before he was drafted, didn't exist.
Yeah,
exactly. Jump. Yeah,
exactly.
That's why maybe
Nussmeier's got a chance.
What we've got here, I think, is a good crop. Hopefully Manning comes out, but we've got a crop of potentials.
Yeah.
It's like the dudes that need to have a good seasons. Hopefully someone will elevate. Hopefully if a couple of them elevate and someone will be there for the Steelers.
I mean, even Manning is like, Manning's had what? I've had only a few less snaps than Arch Manning has in college football. So, like, I can absolutely see a world where he returns in 2026, 100%. Like, I think he's going to take something special.
In a way, like playing QB, high level QB at college football level, must be like one of the most nerve-wracking, like high-pressure situations, like even more high pressure than being an NFL quarterback in many ways, because you're not just doing it for a team or whatever. Like you're playing for your livelihood here. Do you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
if you can be the guy that succeeds in your senior year and like kind of vaults yourself into draft contention, it's like what a huge deal that is. You know,
Yeah,
think
100%.
about
they cover
Spencer
it in
Rattler,
this-
right, where he was, and
Yeah. What happened there?
They-
Yeah, exactly.
He might be QB1 going into
well,
the season. I mean,
Yeah,
so
turn it
struggling.
around, turn it around.
Yeah.
They kind of cover that point
hold that
side
thought.
in that SEC documentary, because they kind of say, look, last year I'm playing in front of like 600-700 people at high school, and now I'm
Right.
playing in front of 80,000 absolutely vociferous. You imagine like Florida versus Miami or Michigan versus Ohio State. There's no hiding ground out there, boys. There is no
Crazy
hiding
stuff.
ground, and if you
Man-
throw a
man-
pick, it's like the whole crowd goes mental.
Yeah, but being a head coach of a team as well in college is just. Brian Kelly put it perfectly. He's got his entire life, his entire mortgage on 18 to 21-year-olds. Like,
Yeah.
that's craziness. That's absolute craziness.
We've all been there, Mark.
Oh, Jesus. I don't think LSU, that's more Penn State, I think. But
What's mind blown?
yeah, but I mean, again, the documentary highlights that so perfectly, and especially the QB situations. I think both Nussmeier and Sellers come off really well in the documentary. I mean, they're not Diego Pavia, and I can't wait for you to watch Diego Pavia of Vanderbilt, who is a guy who will come out next year, but
Interesting cat.
I'm about 15 minutes
interesting.
into the Vanderbilt episode. So we'll get
Interesting
to that.
is it doesn't even come close to Diego Pavia. Like there is a man who simultaneously I absolutely adore and could not be more of a Cleveland Browns quarterback if you tried. Like I don't think he'll even be drafted, but man, this guy is just the most insane character. You either love him or want to absolutely punch him in the face. And I think I love him. Oh, man. Please,
Are we doing,
if anything, just watch a documentary for that guy, man. Oh.
Yeah. Doing eval of Drew Aller next week from Penn State?
I think Drew Aller is next, and then, I kind of had a couple ideas that I can I'd run by you to.
And
for
Tennessee,
what we do
Nico
after.
need to work out.
I
am a lever.
I am a lever.
Is he going to leave for the draft, though, or is he going to stay?
He left Cal.
I am a lever. I never leave if I try.
Oh, he does leave.
Especially with 6'6", mobile, strong-arm quarterback, ranked 6th in the class.
I don't want to drag us 50 minutes backwards in the podcast, but I just have to just quickly correct the record on something.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Gav.
Yes.
While it may have been initially speculated that Eugene might have been under the influence of bath salts, toxology reports revealed that only the presence of marijuana was in his system.
Psychosis.
So
it's a weird psychosis.
This wasn't even... I like the fact that we brought this up because we were talking about smelling salts, so there weren't even any salts involved. But maybe marijuana's a face-eating substance.
I think I've seen marijuana do very strange things to certain people. If you've got a propensity to psychosis and schizophrenia, then marijuana's maybe not the best drug for you.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Stay safe out there, you face chewers.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Keep it domestic.
That was a non sequitur, Mark. I had to correct the record on that.
No, thank you for correcting the record there. Yeah.
Yeah. Mark, famous anti-marijuana person.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pro popo, anti marijuana. Awesome. Well done, guys. Thank you. Appreciate your work. Looking at Nussmeier et al. Oh, I've lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? Oh, that was it. There was a couple of things I would like. I don't know if anyone's got any more football related stuff, but just on the kind of the QB, college QB thing, I just wanted to mention what Ket sent me this week about the furry TCU quarterback.
Apparently that is not true.
This is fake news. So I've been fake newsed again for a second time in the same episode.
Yeah.
This is impossible. How can I host a podcast under these conditions? I don't know what's real and fake anymore.
The TCU QB, I thought this was a bit of an obvious one myself, but I'm just saying, the TCU QB is not a furry.
Mark knows all the furries by name.
You don't see about...
I just tweeted it because it was TCU, to be fair.
I did see something because...
Who are they?
So, For listeners who aren't sure what we're talking about, Ket's told me this week that the TCU quarterback was a furry. You know, he clads himself up in cat costumes, fur. And I just believed it, hook, line, and sinker, because I believe my friend Ketz wouldn't lie to me about.
But can you trust
TCU.
Ketz when it comes to anything TCU related?
Well, good point.
Exactly.
But he does
I
have
second
badger
that comment.
knowledge, so
Yeah, badger knowledge. Sorted.
Oh, I should have checked who it was from. It was from one of these parody accounts that just has a title
Yeah.
that looks like it's somewhat official.
Carson TK,
All I said was
CFB analyst.
TC. All I said was TC who, and then
Do you know,
at UK Steelers Pod. That's
I've
fine.
been got again. I've been got again. Just this is one of these things. I took a quick look at it. I just believed it. I just didn't even question it.
yeah, it's kind of a fun one to believe, though. You know, it's not like some really
And
serious
it was, do you know what?
geopolitical
It's a good
situation,
one.
is it?
It's a good one because it was believable. It's the kind of thing where in 2025 you're kind of feeling like, yeah, maybe there will be a QB who's an open furry.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Caleb
Welcome to
Williams is
25.
almost that, you know?
There was because I obviously follow a lot of Pittsburgh people. It came up in the news that at the Pittsburgh Furry Con, not too far back,
Yeah.
there was
Do you
some
know, I
sort of
heard about this as well,
neo-Nazi.
yeah. Oh,
Neo-Nazi
neo-Nazi,
furry.
Well,
Very cool.
they go hand in hand, don't they? I mean, those kind of people.
What?
Did you see the clip of Caleb Williams failing to score a single net in the
Yes, and then
throwing the
turn
ball?
around
Yeah.
and yeah, he's such a
Shocking
baby.
bit.
Yeah,
footage.
he's kind of come out, I think, today about this and said that he's just laughed it off as nothing too
Yeah, you
worrying.
can laugh it off, but he still sucked.
It didn't look good, did it?
No, I mean, there's one that just goes way wide to the left. I mean, it's we're talking mixed Trubisky into the end zone level of
Do you know what it looked like to
accuracy.
me as someone who gets frustrated with himself a lot? Do you know when you kind of try to do something like that, where you're trying to like throw a ball into a hole for whatever reason, or darts or something like that, and you just keep screwing it up, and you just like you keep doing the same thing over and over again. You kind of, and you're
not
like,
great for a guy whose main job is
Oh,
to
no,
throw
I
the
hear
ball
you.
into it.
I hear you, but I'm
Right.
saying like you know how you then just like get more frustrated, and just start like just putting as much power into these throws. It kind of felt like that's what he was doing by the last two. Like, so the clip does look terrible, but like I feel like he was just getting mega frustrated and just like hurled these balls at the. You know, I don't know that it was like such an accuracy issue as much as it was for me. I read it as a body language and attitude issue, which has been his
Frustration,
problem from the
yeah.
beginning.
But maybe that's the part of the problem all along. He's not got the right temperament or something. I
Yeah,
don't know.
and that's what Ben
Vibe
Johnson
Scouting
said. coming in.
Limited told you so.
We did. Well said, Kets. Well said. We didn't like the nail polish. We
I
didn't like
his
it.
dad.
We didn't like the nail polish. We didn't like his dad. His dad, very, very stupid man.
Stupid man. One of the worst, actually.
One of the worst,
I've
man.
ever met. Terrible.
Very stupid,
Terrible
very
man.
stupid man indeed. Not like Jaden Daniels, Hope of Washington.
Great man. One of the best. One of the best I've ever met. Great folk.
Probably the best man in
Oh.
Washington right now. Yeah, Rashawn Slater out for the season, are confirmed.
Oh, man,
Damn,
that
that's
sucked
okay.
for the
Steelers odds
Chargers.
going
Yeah, we've
down.
rocketed past the Chargers.
Yeah, I kind of
Chargers odds going up.
I kind of mentioned it earlier. There were, as we were kind of talking about the Steelers camp whispers, there were injuries left, right, and centre going on here, there, and everywhere. The Cowboys had 3 people finish practice early. Jaden Blue is in trouble by the looks of it,
No,
potentially.
no,
Yeah,
I'm banking on him.
I don't know what the severity of that was. Let me just see.
He's all I've got.
Uh-oh.
He's all I've got in fantasy.
He's walking under his own power. It might be a day-to-day thing, so he might be okay.
Just keep him away from that guy who eats people's faces.
Yeah, just keep everyone away from that guy, I think.
You mean Popo? I'm coming after you.
Oh God, no! He's found a use for the bloody voice thing. Oh no!
Papa voice.
CJ Gardner-Johnson was carted off for the Texans.
No.
Oh, dear.
Do you know what? It's a scary time of
injured.
year to watch football, isn't it?
It
It's
is.
awful.
I hate
Hate to see
training
him.
camp for this
I
reason.
hate to see him.
Man, there's potential. Oh yeah, he's having an MRI. Jeez. Okay, yeah, that could be bad. Yeah, it just kept happening as I was coming through here with all this, and then the
It's
Rashawn
not going to
Slater
get any
thing.
better either as we
we
get
get into
into
preseason
contact
games.
football. Yeah.
No, exactly.
Yeah,
Jake
and-
Ferguson, I think, was another person in there, but yeah.
Oh jeez.
This is the time of year where your fantasy roster just gets ripped to shreds and there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
If anyone ever
Ennis Rakestraw went on IR as well. He's
Yeah.
done for the season.
Lions,
Yeah.
he's not played really at all since coming out.
Yeah, I never really liked him to begin with. So
No, I did quite like him. Physical corner.
If there's not much else, I was going to suggest very last thing. Just I don't think anyone else maybe has watched it yet, but I just wanted to get Mark's thoughts on Naked Gun. Very quick,
Loved
quick
it.
thoughts.
Absolutely loved it. I think it can stand proudly alongside the rest of the franchise. That's not me saying it's better than that, but I was such a fan of it. There were so many jokes. It's one of those that I need to watch again and again because I'm sure I've missed stuff. Just loved it. Just thought it was a proper comedy. Like really,
So you're
really
saying
funny.
Neeson can do comedy?
He can. Neeson's great. I mean, Neeson was
nailed it.
awesome in Life's Too Short. When he
That's the scene I'm referencing.
Yeah, exactly.
He came in and did the whole thing about I've got AIDS and I'm all that bit, and it just wasn't. It was funny, but not. But he was doing a bit, right? So
yeah,
he
exactly.
can do comedy.
He can. And I mean, it's one of those where that's what the basis of Naked Gun is. It's serious actors doing comedy, really, because that's what Leslie Nielsen was. He was a serious actor. Priscilla Presley, somewhat serious actress, and they're
quite intimidating man, Liam Neeson. I'm not going to lie.
I can imagine.
He challenged me, and I kind of folded.
I've heard why.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, well,
Yeah. But it's just an absolutely fantastic film. Really well done. Akiva Schaffer should be absolutely proud of himself. Like, done a bang up job on it.
Yeah, I completely agree. As someone who was very skeptical about it going in, as you know from the first trailer, yeah, I just think he nailed it. Yeah, it was fresh, it was hilarious, it caught the vibe of the first films, and I mean, I think as you say, like I wouldn't go so far as to say I prefer it to the first one, but I think it kind of stands above the second one in my opinion.
Potentially, I watched the
thought
second one the other night.
Third one's a classic.
I thought it was well within the realm, at least. Anyway, do you know what I mean? Like it had no reason to be like it's lesser than in any way.
Yeah, I think it can easily stand shoulder to shoulder with them, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean the first one is so good.
Does he have the like comedic innocence that Nielsen does?
Do you know? I don't know that it's innocence. It's a slightly different vibe to me. I think. I don't know how you.
I think it's a little bit weird. I mean, Zucker came out like
if that's possible.
Is it David Zucker came out, one of the original guys in it, and while he gave good notes to Akiva Schaffer, he said he wouldn't have done it that way, and I can sort of potentially see what he's talking about because I think it's a bit more. I don't want to say surreal, but it's a bit more
somewhat.
Yeah, off the loop
I would agree with that.
Than the original.
And let's tie this back to football. Can anyone remember O.J. Simpson's character name in the originals?
Yeah,
Nordberg.
They were no longer.
Correct.
Yes.
That's more for the
There
listener.
is a very brief reference to that, which was already in the trailer and was very funny. Right. But there is a great NFL joke in the film as well.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, we won't ruin it, but
yeah,
listeners of this podcast will be pleased when they hear it.
We'll give it a month for you to watch the film, and then Si will use the sound drop.
We'll start using the sound drop.
That's in there because that would definitely be used. But yeah, absolutely go see this film because it's absolutely awesome.
Yeah,
it's just a great laugh.
Assuming you don't have those psychotic issues Gav suggested, pop a little edible and go watch this film. That's my take.
Do some smelling salts in the theatre.
Some smelling salts, yeah. The NFL can't touch you if you're in the theatre.
Good off-season tidbit chit-chat show.
Yeah, nice little tidbit show.
We'll actually have a game to talk about next week.
Yeah, man, a game.
Right. Keep forgetting we're playing the Jags.
There's a game tonight. I'm going to watch the Bengals face off against the Eagles, I believe.
Yeah, Colts Ravens tonight as well.
Oh, there's 2 games tonight.
There's 3 games tonight, I believe.
3 games tonight. Oh,
yeah, Colts Ravens.
They were no longer.
Colts Ravens is in about 20 minutes' time.
Oh man!
And then who else is there?
No rest for the wicked for me.
3 games, and then we got the Jags on Saturday midnight going into Sunday.
I hope no one needs any payment support tomorrow, boys.
Oh,
Football's back.
Well, Raiders Seahawks is the other one. So if you want to watch Raiders Seahawks,
that could be fun.
There's 3 games tomorrow as well.
All right, that's a bit much now. Let's calm down.
There's games happening.
Let's strip it back.
There's a lot of games.
All right. Follow the show at UK Steelers Pod. Follow me at I Wrote This. Follow Gav at GM Boom. Follow Mac at Mesh NFL. Follow Kets at Kets UK. All on the dying husk of Twitter. We'll see you next week. We'll have some football to talk about.
Yeehaw. Go Steelers. All right. See you later.
Football is back.